and horrible. And why, God? I'll send something in right.
For the record, though, Sandman, are you listening to this like with your dad on speaker? Because if so, hello, Sandman's dad. Welcome to D&D. Okay.
Oh God.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, he shouldn't be typing in that case, so I guess he's not driving. That might be a nope of I'm not driving, or a nope of... Okay, have fun with that. I'm gonna drag things on topic, though. God help us all.
Hey, you know, at least... Actually, no, that's actually kind of pretty fucking scary. I was going to say, you know, it's not like, your ma driving down 80 in a residential area. Actually, that's actually kind of worse.
Whose mom driving 80 down a residential area?
My mom.
Oh, your mom. I thought you said someone else's. I'm like, wait.
I was like, how do you know about my mom? But no, she goes, literally, I had to yell at my mom the other day because she was going 35 and a 60.
That will literally get you, like just rear-ended at lethal speed.
Yeah, and I was like, you're gonna get us killed. And she was like, I'm driving fine. This is safer. And I was like, oh my...
Driving slower is safer? Dude, that's like kind of more dangerous.
I'm also posting one thing of like an incel, Sleepy Goblin. If you'd like to see it, just let me know and I'll send.
Hang on.
Yeah, basically.
That's alright. I'm special in my own way. I'm special in my own way.
Okay, that's actually pretty good.
What the fuck is with this dude?
Gives the guy tattoos, and then it's like, I'm afraid of what I've done to you!
Oh, dude, that's awesome. You should pull over and ask him if he needs any help.
Sandman, are you in Silent Hill? In the darkness.
In the darkness?
Oh!
Welcome to the country. We've got fun and games.
Wait, have you guys ever read... Oh, no. Hold on, I have another thing.
What?
Hello. We heard you for a second.
Can you send it to me?
Oh, I got you right now.
Okay, but without... It's been 15 minutes. I'm gonna drag things back on course now.
It's alright. I'm gonna have to go AFK for a couple of minutes. In the next 30 minutes. Because, I just supplied adhesive.
Adhesive?
To my paper? Because I got gold leaf.
What? Oh,
I have no idea.
Okay. No, she got gold leaf. It's like, basically think of like really thin gold, and you could cut it and like use it to make really cool stuff. And she has to go.
And have to
hello.
go play it.
Hello.
Last I remember, let's go ahead and get things started then. Also, welcome new guy. We're playing D&D, obviously. Last I remember, the entire group is currently in a fairly ritzy establishment in the Black Dome of Assyrian, paid for by courtesy of, I believe, Adrian. I could be wrong, but I think he's footing the bill for pretty much everything. Sorden, you specifically went to sleep in your own place, and I believe, Sivas, didn't you go hang out with the friendship located currently in Sothis? Well, we didn't have an opportunity last time, but I wanted to quickly cover basically just the friendship. I can rule that either way. If you want to say that you got it before things, you can easily say that. Yeah, someone is legitimately targeting Rune Lords, of which Bread is obviously one. Not just Varric, but everyone. That being said, so the time you spend with the Arisen of Sothis, there's a lot of volunteer work to be done. The Arisen in general really don't demand material compensation. They're not paid in traditional money. They can be. You can specify and be like, oh hey, But a lot of Arisen at this point, it's kind of like an unpaid workforce that just is really convenient to have around. And trade it's mostly to, how do I put it? It's mostly to give a kind of positive PR campaign, because up until very recently, Geb was seen as a pretty nightmarish place. Geb was a nation ruled by undeath, and any nobles or aristocrats from the area were always a bit dark and sinister. So there's been a lot of work put forward by the Arisen and Sothis to just be like, hey, listen, we know what you think, we know what we're working with here. Things are different, we're different, we're willing to prove it, put our money where our mouths are here. Stop it. We're going to put our money where our mouths are here and give you guys any aid that's required. What do you guys need? And maybe they're getting taken advantage of a little bit, but for the most part, those people are just like, it's fine, we don't need any help, please go away, Mr. Giant Scary Skeleton Man. But the people who take advantage of the offers find that yeah, you guys are pretty legit. So if you join up with them, then you'll find a lot of busy work, a lot of people doing a lot of unsafe jobs that don't really matter for people who don't have flesh. Okay. Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check to see what you find out. That's 4. The rumors you do get aren't anything that you didn't already as a party know. And it's impossible to tell fact from fiction with the 4 of whether or not these rumors have any truth to them, or if they're just more of the tall tale craziness that every city has. Alligators in the sewers nonsense. So, nothing too helpful there, unfortunately for you. It's the other guy. You're not on push to talk, and it keeps sounding like you're almost sneezing. Now he's muted.
3.
Okay, finding the Arisen, the Friendship, are pretty nomadic in general. There isn't much structure or organization to be had pretty much anywhere in the organization. No, I completely agree. I'm just letting you know. So you find, especially because a lot of this work that's being done in Sothis is kind of missionary work. There's a lot of evangelizing going on in the name of bread. That for people who just jumped in here, bread is the god of undeath now. Don't worry about it. There's been a lot of evangelizing for bread, and all the free work. all the people who are doing, all the undead who are doing this free work are at the same time like, oh hey, did you hear the good word? We beat death. You can too. Passing out pamphlets and whatnot. And hey, Geb is only, like a week's journey away, and if you're not undead, then the mana wastes aren't even that big a deal. So yeah, there are plenty of like the shuttle buses to Geb are available. So you can easily find a group that is organizing such a journey in the near future and being like, hey, listen, this isn't not to panic or anything. We might have a large problem. Also keep in mind, and I don't want to metagame too much, but you do have commune with I'm gonna get it wrong. It's a cleric ability. Because you're allowed, and someone please correct me if I'm wrong, clerics are allowed to like ask questions of their deity by some kind of commune with nature type thing, can't they?
Yes,
Something akin to that?
It's a spell that lets you kind of like ask a question to God, and then they give you like one of 8 different symbols, I believe. I know one of them is a wheel, and it's basically like a magic 8 ball where it's like yes, no, maybe, the path is uncertain, so on and so forth.
Commune is a level 5 spell, so that's why that's not yeah. Never mind. You're not that important yet. However, it can be upcat. Like if you wanna contact someone, because presumably you're not the only cleric of bread.
The spell that Pi is thinking of is called
Augury.
Yeah, but augury is a very different kind of spell.
Oh, okay. That's my bad.
Augury lets you tell the future. It doesn't let you. Okay. So sending is a spell you have, and you're right. He is in the same plane as you. You're just gonna go for it and see what happens. I'm just imagining, essentially, this is like sending a fucking email to like, Keanu Reeves' personal email that you happen to have. Oh my god, is he gonna see it? Oh my god! So officially, let me just make sure, you're casting sending, and you're sending, Bread the same message that you sent everyone else, basically. Okay. Okay. Okay, while he's doing that, so everyone else, you guys get the message from Vulcan, that yeah, some bad shit's going down back in Varesia, and that, Luca is a way bigger threat than previously estimated, and that things are kicking into higher gear. Doesn't change too much for you guys. You do know, however, that Luca Prime, that the man himself, is still in Assyrian, somewhere, so you know that you're not quite alone here. But if he is here, you guys haven't seen him yet. But that's a word that Vulcan sends anyway. As for you guys, you have found out that the Shard of Envy currently resides somewhere in Sothis, and probably in the possession of one of the higher court nobles. You don't know which court noble. You're going to have to find out who and what he wants for it, or just murder the dude and grab it, or heist it from him. Choices are yours, but that's all you know, is that the shard's in the city and probably in the possession of someone upper class. Mm-hmm. Sorry about that. But yes, all of you come to consciousness in the ritzy establishment that I have forgotten the name of completely. I think it was the Golden Sands. That makes sense. The casino is the Golden Oasis, so they probably have like a naming convention theme.
So it's been about... So you had a long rest?
Yes, you've had a long rest.
Neat. I would have changed my upgrades during the long rest.
Right. You don't know what Brett knows.
Nobody knows what bread knows except bread.
And probably William.
Yeah.
But yeah, is anyone doing anything at this particular moment? You're all still in essentially Adrian's house. I'm going to Jaeger Adrian only insofar as, and I don't want to step on Sandman's toes or anything. I know that he has some information that he's being a little bit keeping close to his chest a little bit. Hey Sandman, can you type?
I can speak for.
Yeah. What's Adrian doing today?
Running down the last of his leads and making sure that it is who.
Oh, that reminds me.
You're 90% sure?
Okay, so I'll approach them.
Okay, but yeah, everyone else is free
One second.
to do whatever they'd particularly like to do. I don't want to just say like, oh, Sandman, do things. But speak up if you have any plans.
Well, I asked Adrian to make contact with somebody that I knew in Alkenstar. To see if
And I did.
It takes a while for messages to reach Alkenstar. Keeping in mind, Alkenstar is in the middle of the Mana Wastes. Magic
That I
communication doesn't. Okay, so it'll be probably 2 days, 3 days maybe before a carrier familiar can get all the way there and back.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he has some weird shit that I don't know about.
It's true,
Probably
but
familiar.
gotta be familiar. He'll tell you that much.
Alright. So, to be honest,
Draxus, I had a question or two about your fighting capabilities, as it would.
why do you need to know about my fighting capabilities?
I was just a bit worried, perturbed, to be completely honest. You use that gun of yours.
Yeah?
Well, my
I mean-
father.
There's nothing wrong with it, right?
Well, my father. We both have a very. Let's say. A philosophy. Where. What would happen if, let's say, I took your gun away?
I will punch you in the fucking face and get my gun back.
And would you actually be able to get it back? What other things do you have other than your fist?
My sword, my arm, that I could just shock you with.
So then let's try it.
I feel deeply offended by this.
I would just like to see if you are able to hold yourself upright if I take away one of your items, or rather, if your one item is the crux of your entire ability.
I'm doing that immediately.
You're doing what immediately? I missed it.
I'm shocking Sworden.
Okay. Well, I'm confused. Are you going for a sword, or are you just going to shock him before he goes? Or are you going for the gun, or are you just going to shock him before he even
I'm
tries?
just going to shock him.
Okay. That's a 13 to hit, so no.
Okay. So I am going to try to just grab the. Is that
Okay.
athletics?
That would be probably there's probably a thing for it. Hang on a second.
I would have replied my bonding as well.
Disarm. No, there is no general disarm rule for the thing. We're just gonna go with the optional one. Go ahead and roll. Yeah, roll an attack. Just a general attack.
So just like 1d20?
I mean, plus your proficiency, plus your strength or your
Hey,
dexterity. So like make a sword attack. It's not for swords. What's up?
I should have said, but I'm pretty sure that would have reapplied bond item before I got up.
You would have applied what?
Oh,
item?
no.
Yeah,
That's
what item?
not-
I didn't. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
A spell bond item.
Oh, okay. Sure.
And it would be my. And I'm pretty sure it's not visible because it'll be in my pocket, my bag of holding.
Right. Well, in this case, Jack's just in the meantime, while everyone's doing things, just gonna start using Adrian's own kitchen to make to make breakfast version 3. Go ahead and make a dexterity check there, Jack.
Wait, what?
Go ahead and make a dexterity check with advantage because Cybus is giving you help.
No, I'm giving.
Oh
him
wait, no. Yeah, that's
Adrian.
Yeah, so not me. Jaraxis?
No.
right. Sorry, I'm thinking all kinds of weird. Poncho, you're making pancakes, right? Adrian is helping you make pancakes, so please make a dexterity check with advantage for pancakes. I'm saying this only because I want to see if Cybus gets shown up twice.
21.
I don't think he does. It's pretty good pancakes. Yes, Pieball, you can roll those. Sorry, my bad. All of that about you grabbing the gun from Jax isn't necessarily going to work, if only because apparently Jax's gun is currently in the bag of holding, which you can't grab it out of, obviously.
Oh, okay.
Yo.
So, sorry about all the confusion. What happens is you say all these things, immediately Jax goes to electrocute you a little bit, and you just kind of slap his arm out of the way, like, okay, let's not get too crazy. And that is where we are right now. Continue.
I'm going to sorry.
We're talking about the one that your revised sending? Yeah, 1 second.
And once he does, I'm going to. I know, I heard you.
I love your cat.
He wants out. I was going to say, I'm going to like hug my bag of holding so he won't try to get it out.
Well, would you like to continue going in this exercise, or is that your
You
only
started
trip?
it.
Yes, that's the point. I would like to see.
No. I don't care what you think.
I love him.
Oh, alright. Come on, you piece of shit.
Just waiting for Ash to get back.
No problem. That's fine. That's legit. No one usually goes to Egypt for any reason. Everyone's a fucking weeb.
I would also say, I don't care about your goddamn philosophy. If it's the way that I've been taught and raised.
Well, I mean,
Just as the way.
to put all of your
Well,
stock
listen.
in one item and then easily have that one item be taken away. Maybe not in this case, but in the future. You won't always have.
I mean, I have alternatives. Not just my gun.
Show me.
I take out my pistol, I show him my arm, and I show him my rapier, and I show him my magical skills. Somehow.
That is 2 guns.
Well.
Well, he's also a rapier, some magic, and a weird arm.
and
That's
a
fair.
familiar.
It's a decent assortment of skills.
I know how to throat punch people. It's been a while since I've done that, though.
Meanwhile, as these two are having their argument, Cybus, you actually get a response. It's kind of hurried. I don't know. Does the reply sending still need to be 25 words?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
All right. Let's see if I can do this then. Hey, sorry. So, and I'm trying to. This is on the fly. It's I know. It's about as hurried as it sounds, though, because it's really hastily thrown together, and you get the sense that this is a message that's, like, being said while, like, someone's running to the door, if that makes any sense. Hey, sorry, so I got word that Varric, we're working on it. I have got Geb, pretty much organized. How many words is that?
Like 17.
Okay. And since he's got enough spell slots to blow. Actually, he'll probably just send another message, to continue it. I'm gonna write a thing for you in private chat, just because you're the only one who can hear what Brett says. But I'll get on that in just a second.
So he sent the sending to Jesus and got a response?
He actually did.
Holy shit.
Wow.
That's
So while
actually
you type
really
that, do you
cool.
mind if I talk to the... I guess I'll approach the group, if that's okay.
Go for it.
Anybody object or no?
No.
I'm sorry. What are you doing? I was busy typing.
While you're typing, I'm just gonna approach the group.
Have fun.
I mean, nobody's gonna stop you.
Alright, so I ran down the last of my leads, and the person who's gonna be having the shard is probably gonna be the famous councilman Itzia Galavask, and that would be Tentoria's dad.
Okay.
Last time we heard from him, he was asking some really particular questions, and then dropped off the map. Questions that make us believe that he definitely has a shard.
Do you know
So
what
if
the
there's
questions-
anyone we should be pursuing, it'd be him.
Do you know what the questions were and where he's heading right now?
Think about it this way. What if somebody came to you and said, oh, theoretically, I have a big gun. If I shot this big gun at, say, the sun, what would happen? The question's like,
Oh. Okay.
maybe not that drastic, but questions that make us believe that he definitely has a shot.
We'll be right back.
But yeah, that's who we should be looking at. I don't see anybody else that could possibly be.
So are you saying that's his motive? To shoot the sun?
No, that was more of a on the nose kind of thing. He's very power hungry, but I think Tentoria can tell you more about that.
Is Tentoria here, by the way?
Presumably.
Blank is her now.
Yeah.
Alright.
Because I was typing and I didn't quite hear the conversation. Can someone paraphrase what Adrian was just saying?
He said that the person who's going to have the shard is her dad. Pancho wanted to know the extent of what he's actually planning. I said I don't really know. He's just very power hungry, but Tentoria can tell you more about that.
My father is... He is something like a snake. He is cunning, he stays low to the ground. He will absolutely bite you if he thinks he can get away with it. That being said, he is only as dangerous as a snake. If you avoid him, he can't do too much else. I am worried that I do not know what he's planning, but if we can find out, then it'll be something that we can handle, I'm sure. What we need now is information.
I would agree. Knowing his motive would make negotiations much more plausible an option.
Only problem with that is the best people who know his motivation in the city would be right now me, and I don't really know. We're only 90% sure that it's him. That's an acceptable percentage for me to go after him. and with what he could do with it. Correct me if I'm wrong. The next shard is envy, right? And envy is abjuration.
Yep.
Okay, so I mean, with what he could do with it, from what research that I've heard about, potentially steal magic from other people, maybe strip people of power, or he could significantly protect his own body and boost them. It's hard to say really what he's going to go after. He hasn't made a move yet, but he's been suspicious.
Well, what you would know, actually, is that you had a pretty good idea of what he was up to, like, a couple of years ago. He's become something of a wild card, and no one's really sure what his motives are, even as far as you're aware. You have a lot of contacts in the city, and Ten knows him from way before then. He's done some weird shit recently that you can't peg. So yeah, his motives are super weird, and they whatever they are now, they weren't the same as they were like 4 years ago. That's about all you know.
A man with motivations is easy to track. The problem with it is that all his previous ties, the people that he swore fealty to, he's cut all those ties and is doing his own thing now, and we don't quite know what he's doing. It's hard to get people in his camp. He doesn't trust really anybody. But right now, he's really the only reasonable person who would have a shard.
So,
Would I know,
you're
besides
saying-
just his council chambers, does he have a house in the city?
I'm sorry, busy DMing things. One more time?
Besides just his council chambers, does he have, well, Tintoria would know, does he have a house in the city?
Oh yeah, pretty fancy place too. Not quite fancy enough that he lives in the Black Dome, but still in the noble district of Sothis.
Listen, all I'm saying is, you know, I know that you guys carry your shards around on you, so good chance that he's going to be carrying his on his own person. Now, if you want to hit him in his highly defensible council chambers, that's one thing. If you want to hit him at home, that's something I could probably facilitate.
But
That's even if he is at home.
wouldn't that be a home invasion at that point?
I was thinking more of a house call.
To be fair, it is not necessarily a home invasion if the daughter of the person invites you in.
Ah, there you go.
That being said, my father is
that
as likely to
invitation
kill me as he is to hug me, but at least we will have a good alibi.
Now, I would like to, I guess, clarify here. If things go sour, I'm not saying they will, I'm not saying that's what we want, but if they do, how do you feel about your father continuing his locale to this realm of existence?
I would greatly prefer not to have to murder my father, if at all possible. He is, to be frank, an asshole, but he is still my father. He's not evil, he's just an asshole.
Eager? Yes.
Yes, sir.
That
You
being
said my
said,
name?
it's entirely possible that we can still talk to him. He's not likely to make it easy, but it is a start. I understand how easy it is to simply bust in and take what we want, but it's not likely to win every time. There's an option to do this without any bloodshed, without any difficulty. I think we should take that chance.
I'd agree. Bloodshed is not too great a preferred option, you know? Kind of a last resort.
I'm quite fine with that. I'm quite fine with that. It's not like I have a bounty on his head or nothing. I got nothing particularly against the man. He's just a wild card. So if you want to do this peacefully, no bloodshed, sure, we can do that.
I don't suppose you know of any allergies or, I guess, shortcomings of your father that we might be able to prepare to take advantage of in advance?
Back.
The only thing I can say is that As long as I have known him, he is not trained in combat. He's not particularly well versed in magics. If things do get violent, I'm fairly confident that he's entirely reliant on his guards, of which he has several, but perhaps we can get him one-on-one. It'd certainly help our position quite a bit if it was. That being said, that was a long time ago. Things might have changed. My father's a very...
Yeah, I was about to ask, do I know any of...
So far as you're aware, although he's made pretty frequent transactions with people insofar as magic items go, that doesn't make him a wizard. It makes him do some magic items. And, you know, there's nothing you can buy that'll make you as good as a party of people. So yeah, chances are, if your information is accurate, and 10 is still correct, he's not a threat, physically. Which isn't to say that he can't, you know, have other tricks up his sleeve, but just letting you know.
Right, he could still have things going on. Were any of his personal guards, did any of them like Tentoria or love her?
Love, probably not so much. You probably had a few
any weak links in the chain?
I'd say probably, but that was a long time ago. And you know, absence doesn't necessarily make the heart grow fonder. That in that time period that Itza might have said any number of things to convince them of their mistake in loyalty to Tentoria. You don't know. There's a chance, but it's a shot in the dark.
Cool. All right, just checking.
But yeah, there are probably a couple of guards. You have at least enough clout with it. You can start the process, and I'll kind of have to see how persuasion rules pan out at that point. You go ahead and moves over to the top of this map, just in case I need to. You would know that that his house is somewhere in the Marble Court.
Marble Court. Okay.
You guys are pretty much, yeah, we'll say here because you just left the Black Dome. Marble Dope. What's up? What? Oh, I don't know. You said I kind of assumed, yeah, you guys wouldn't have any reason to leave yet, but when you do eventually leave, that's where you're gonna be. Whatever. You're still in the Black Dome.
Do I have any amigos in the area that can tell me if there's been any changes around the house or anything like that? Any guard rotations, patterns?
Yeah, since this is a person of interest, you would know that he has more guards than most, and very well trained ones. Mercenaries, in fact, not the official city guard, and that brings with it its own set of perils. Because mercenaries could have any number of instructions or equipment, so a bit of a wild card there. No severe changes in the last, I'd say, year. He's steadily increased guard at a pretty linear rate for a while now, but it's not like it was like one day he just doubled it. It's been a steady increase in either paranoia or preparedness, depending on how you see that.
What's he up to now?
Currently, he's just kind of, or personally, as far as any of your contacts can tell, he's going about his days. He's just doing normal shit.
No, I mean, like, how many guards is he up to?
Oh, how many guards is he up to? Probably 24/7, instead of one of those, because, admit it, like, every time it's like, oh, geez, it's nightfall, let's cut the guard in half, that's when you get fucking stabbed. So it'd probably be pretty much consistently... Probably consistently around 15 guards.
Do I have a mercenary outfit? What the kick?
In this case, it seems like they're handpicked. A collection of adventurers, a few members of the Friendship, in fact.
Ah, shit.
It's not an official band. It seems like he literally sought each one of them out.
He likes.
Yeah.
And so, do we have any intel on those people, or that they're just primarily like low tier, mid tier adventurers? You know,
they're pretty reasonable. I'd say in a straight on fight, you guys would have a really hard time. Which isn't to say it's impossible, but it wouldn't be a floor. Wouldn't be a mop the floor scenario, especially if you had to fight all 15 at the same time.
Right. Do I know how many of them are casters?
Probably not. Not off the top of your head, at least, because I don't.
I say that we simply
say about
set an
half.
appointment. Can't be that hard, could it?
I mean, it can't be Tentoria going in there because, try setting up an appointment like that. He ain't never going to come out of.
How about you?
But that's
I
my
can.
point.
I mean, Zordon, sure. Zordon can do it. I can also.
But imagine the
I
surprise
can
on
go
him
with Zordon.
if us together wanted to speak with him on private matters, private urgent matters, in fact.
Before I continue down this line of thinking, does anybody have any problems with it? Any things that they'd like to point out? Where's Sivas, by the way? Okay. You... I'll open the door and say, Vlad, get on that, please. There's one of our guests is having trouble at the entrance.
I'm sorry, you're telling who?
So, Vlad, one of my
right.
servants, just telling somebody to go help.
You have so many fucking contacts. Yeah. One of your.
I'm really strong in one region of the world.
That's true. It's true. So your right hand man essentially.
Like this.
Yeah. Your backstory is pretty well done. So Vlad heads out. Quick nod. Yeah. The first line of defense into the Black Dome is kind of just word of mouth. So. You're very quickly cleared, Sivas, so the fact that you've been in here before, again, really lowers the difficulty of getting back in again. And yeah, you can quickly rejoin the party.
Before I get back to Sivas real quick, I just want to talk to Captain Jack and say, well, the first time we were introduced, you were off doing your own thing. I just wanted to extend the offer to you. Are you looking to purchase any weapons, firearms, magic items, anything like that? I'm
not. Thank you for your offer, though. I'm quite well...
No problem.
...equipped.
Yeah, I noticed. It's just that I saw a bracer of flintlock pistols on your chest, and they ain't used so much anymore.
Don't suppose you could show me what is used,
Times have changed, old man. The future is thundermongers.
Oh, yeah!
Sure. I'll while we're waiting for Sivas, I'll pop off my bracelet, lay it on the floor, unfold my portable dimension, allow Jack in there, and show him around a little bit. It's just kind of like that scene from The Matrix where they order the guns and all the guns are on the walls and shit. Kind of like that. Only I have a personal pocket dimension that's just for selling shit. So I would offer you 6-shot revolver. We got that option. Newest shit off the line. Little experimental, little temperamental at times is this, and he shows you what looks kind of like a semi-auto, kind of looks similar to a Mauser, but the DC for a misfire is up, but the trade-off is just a lot more shots than a standard revolver. But if you're just looking for a reliable revolver, is the way to go.
Huh, that's real neat. Looks kind of like this. I'll shift the Mercurial sword into what I'm looking at, or into the 6-shooter.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Fancy.
It is nice.
Yeah, you have seen it now.
But, I'm much more up and personal in my fighting style, you might say. And I'll shift it back into my rapier.
I mean, I do have a number of...
It's handy.
Yeah.
Though, admittedly, I can't make ammunition with it. So, yeah, you got me there.
I mean, we do cater to a number of different kinds of clientele. We do weapons, different kinds, depending on what you're looking for, but that's a real fancy sword, so I ain't gonna even question that one. That one's way better than anything I got, I'm pretty sure. As far as ammunition and shit, we got magic ammo, we got standard ammo. If you need something, I'll you buy it in a big enough bulk, I'll tell you what, I'll just throw in a gun with it.
Much obliged, thank you. But again, if distance is an issue, then I can generally catch up to it.
So
Ever seen a man outrun a bullet?
Once, and I was hallucinating at the time.
Yeah, me too. But I'd be willing to try.
Well, then maybe we should go party sometime. But it sounds like we have bigger, more pressing things to attend to. But I'll tell you what, if you change your mind about wanting magic ammo or you want a revolver or anything, just let me know. I'll cut you.
Thank you kindly.
No problem. And we'll go back upstairs and I'll fold up my portable bunker again. And if Syvas is here, I'll talk to him.
Adrian?
Yes, sir.
Got any more elemental bullets?
Sure, depends on the kind you're looking for.
Well, you got any fire?
Most standard shit on the planet, sure.
I mean, what do you have besides lightning and thunder?
I'd say you
Fire,
probably just
lightning,
have.
thunder, cold, frost, acid, poison, just standard.
Yeah, I'd say you'd have. Say you'd have like the standard ones. You wouldn't have like a necrotic, radiant, or force.
No, nothing like that. I'm just going standard elemental.
Can you have some fire and acid?
Fire and acid? Sure, you chain burn it for your pistol or for your rifle. Two different kinds of caliber.
Well, my gun can only deal thunder damage at the moment. Or just deal thunder.
Oh, so the rifle, you mean?
Yeah, my rifle can only deal thunder, so...
How many of each?
Pistol. Well, how much are they?
Well, the fire and lightning chambered for that particular weapon, so that they don't blow apart, it's going to be about 10 gold a pop.
A bullet.
Per bullet.
For the pistol.
For the pistol, if it's fire or whatever, it's probably going to be about 6, 5.
Also, I suggest maybe we hold off on buying any more of these bullet.
You seem so offended.
Well, I mean,
You're
I would just like to
sitting
point
awfully
out.
high up on that horse there. You're sitting awfully high up on that horse there, considering I put a rocket launcher.
Yes, but I would also like to point out the fact that we aren't going to just anywhere. We are going to somewhere that has many guards. Many guards with a person who is very politically well known. His word will be
That's a good
taken at
question.
face value, and thus, if he were to, I don't know, alert the city of anyone with a gun that is currently using it to break into homes and take things that aren't quite theirs, no matter the well intent, I don't see it going well for all of us. I believe that we shouldn't
No, I
be
understand
using
that.
any
We're
of these
gonna-
weaponry this close into the city.
No, I understand that. I think that before we start talking about what we should and should not be doing, we should wait for Syvas to get back and talk strategy. Speaking of, I think that
Oh hey,
Oh, what?
the magic of D&D.
Bullets!
we'll talk about your bullets a little bit.
Yeah, he has his own fucking sheet for pricing and whatnot, so I'll let him handle that. Speaking of which, Salmon, are you back at your house yet, or are you still in the car, just quietly whispering while your dad looks sidelong at you like you're crazy?
Who? Oh no, I'm in a room in the Airbnb. I'm about
You're in a closet? I gotta come out of it?
All
To
right.
your family?
coming in and out of the closet. Syvas wanted to say something.
Yeah, so Slavus rushes in a hurry. He would be out of breath if he breathed, but he doesn't, so there you go. Vlad is behind him, kind of like power jogging to keep up. Slavus' strides are pretty fucking long. Doesn't quite crash through the door, but gets in a hurry, put it that way. Vlad makes like 10 gold a day.
That has to be a really
Tips are
good
always
job.
good.
I'm right here.
We're all here.
They're all standing before you in the kitchen. Jack's got like an apron that says like "kiss the cat" or something like that. Pancakes look pretty good.
I
Looks
learned
pretty good.
it from you.
I thought you were going to
I
tell
learned it from you, Dad.
The magic
I'll
trapdoor.
throw it on the floor again. I'll throw it on the floor again. And I'll let you guys go down.
For the record, by the way, because it's you weren't here for the past 2 weeks, and it's important. So Jack, guns are banned in the city of Sothis. Owning one is a crime that might be punishable by death, depending on the circumstances.
Almost learned that the hard way.
So you can very easily just stow your pistol in a way that it is invisible, but don't like whip it out in the middle of like the street, or else that's a bad thing. I explain this only because this guy Adrian sells weapons, so this setup that he has is essentially his way of avoiding detection.
I read Sandman's TLDR.
Okay.
Pretty solid.
Also, almost learned it the hard way. 2. It was 2.
Like 8 times.
It was 2. Get it right, guys. It was
5,000
making it
people.
worse.
6.
Oh my fucking god.
You told about 5,000 people, each
What a
one
fucking-
personally executed by your.
I'll put the gun on myself.
Anyway,
we're
so
going into the
Adrian pops the trapdoor. All of you crowd into the slightly small space. There's a lot of you, and Cybus is fucking huge. Oh yes, because all of us clearly remember the Christmas movie with Tim Allen, the Santa Claus,
Yes.
and that one specific scene you're referencing.
I sure do.
I don't
I
know. I don't.
I
Anyway,
actually do.
what? Am I the weird one? I don't remember.
A little
I don't
bit.
know. Maybe.
Nah, it's been a long time.
It's been a decade.
That's
If-
the one where
if
Jack
not-
Frost is
It's
the
on every
villain, right?
Christmas.
In the second one that no one talks about, yes.
It was the
Third one?
Third one.
I only remembered that it's really weird that anyone who kills Santa becomes the new Santa. Like, what the fuck?
Second one
Why
was
is
where.
that
There can be only one.
Second one was where classic Santa Claus tried to rule the world. Became a Nazi.
Is this for the damage coda?
Okay, everybody's in. I'll close the door. Oh,
Well, shit.
what could we maybe
do
go
you-
in a little more detail about that first part?
So
Which
my
is-
friend heard from a guy, saw a cousin who apparently saw that Varric got killed.
Alright, sure, fine.
Cool.
Well, Vulcan's the one who sent the message. Didn't he send it to the entire party, not just Cybus, or was it just Cybus? Oh, I'm getting a call.
I thought it was the whole party. I got a message too.
Hang on 1 second. Okay, you're back. What's up?
You
What's
guys
up? Yeah, you called me for a second.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I hit it by accident, my bad. I was just gonna say, no, I didn't send it to the whole party. I sent only the people that Vulcan knows, so because he can't send it to everybody.
Okay, so the people that he knows were Vulcan or were Cybus. Well, did he send it?
And direct.
Okay, and Tentoria, right?
Oh yeah, and well, yeah, sure, I guess.
So really, the only person you're informing here is Sorden.
Adrian and Sorden.
Yeah, Adrian and Sorden are the only two people who didn't get the message from Vulcan.
Sorry, the Rune Lord of
Holy
Wrath
shit.
was killed?
We're back, guys. It's a fucking roach in my room.
As in the Rune Lord.
I don't think that name means anything to you.
Oh, really?
You don't know. I know. I don't think that means anything to Sorden.
Sorden's just gonna start eating a pancake.
Like,
Except for
because
that guy.
he's never. Yeah, like, when's that gonna come up? That's true.
All right. So tell me what you found out. Yeah, I can see how that could potentially be a problem. Sure. So we need to move a little bit faster because it sounds like I need to get you to. You want radiant grenade? Probably gonna have to have them custom ordered, but yeah, I can get it done. So the Rune Lord of Wrath was killed by a construct that was made to kill each individual Rune Lord in a specific. Okay, give me a couple days. I gotta start loading for bed.
Let me just start screaming into a pillow real quick.
Deal already altered. Don't worry about it. We gotta handle it.
I was about to say, never mind. I was like, wait a minute, what was I about to say? It was important, and then I realized it was, that Luca is now played by, oh, fuck, I forgot his name.
I'm back.
So the movie Seven, with Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt, and Kevin Spacey, that was it. Killing each person, each deadly sin in a method that is specific to them.
How would you kill Raph?
Don't worry about it. Anyway.
I'm just now genuinely curious.
Alright, so it sounds like we got a lot of issues coming down the pipeline real soon. So, yeah, maybe we don't have time for a full revolution. Here's what I propose. We still gotta go into that council chamber, probably anyway, to figure out if they are pulling any shady business so that we can get our people the info they need. And double down on the fact that, correct me if I'm wrong, Blank, when he's in the council chambers, does he have less personal guards or more?
That's tough to say. More guards. More guards because it's like all of the various noblemen and government body of Sothis in one place. So obviously the organization's gonna be pretty tight. At the same time, the quality of the guards probably isn't as high. Still, it's not an easy break-in, especially because it's one of those situations where if you fuck it up, then you'll break in. You might actually be able to take all the guards that guard people's chambers, or the Council of Sun and Sky, I should say. I keep thinking Karamaga. You could probably take all the guards that are guarding the Sun and Sky, but then the entire city reinforces the chamber, and where are you gonna fucking escape to?
Right. Yes. Oh, that's fine. In what way? Deal's done. Don't worry about it. I do believe that is acceptable. Listen, everybody's got a revolution. This one can wait a little.
Let's not forget that Brett is a 20th level adventurer. Like, how much fucking gold do you have the 5th time you kill a dragon,
So many gold.
Yeah, and own a city.
And own a city, and started a religion. and rewrote Undeath.
Right, he's gonna have money, so Adrian's interested. All right, I'm not so dumb as to say that my issues are more important. All I'm suggesting is that if we are going to be doing this anyway, it's more of a secondary objective, a side objective, if you will. Is that fair? Like, if we find something, we still find something. But my focus.
I just realized how this would go, and it was Bread takes over the country of Geb in a single day, winds up with all of Geb's income and national treasury, and is like, we don't fucking need gold. We're undead, so let's just give it to the poor. And meanwhile, the wizard Geb, like over there, no, stop it. That's not how you run a country. Bread's like, let's just spend all this gold and like have like a day where we all just like ride dragons. That's only 2 billion gold. What's economics?
Oh no, why is everybody out of job? Fane! Fane.
Yeah. just poor asshole Lich Geb. I worked for centuries to build that treasury. Yeah, now we don't need it because we all have like water guns that shoot liquid gold.
Oh, dude.
Oh, that would be so cool.
I'll just say this, guys.
That'd be so hard to get off.
Like I said before, I'm a venture capitalist. I know a good deal when I see one, especially if I can get in on the ground floor of something important. Now, I'm not gonna say that I don't know about the Rune Lord of Wrath. I didn't know he was dead, which is quite unfortunate, and it's going to severely impact my business, which makes me very, very annoyed. So if I can get in on the ground floor with another Rune Lord who is already promising to pay me a shitload of gold, I'm already your man, so don't even worry about it. I'll help you with whatever you need to do, as long as it means that Bread don't die. Because if I already lost one Rune Lord, I can't lose Bread too, only because if he Risen are now under new management, that also severely impacts my economic situation. Yes. Sure, I'll do that. So, let's get this done. Let's make sure that we at least try to accomplish this side objective, with the primary objective still being the fact that we need to get you the shard. Now, a couple of minutes ago we were talking about plan. Best one somebody proposed so far was that Sorden and I go in and try to arrange a meeting specific with the councilman. Try to get him to lull into a sense of security. Maybe we could swipe it then, probably not, but at least we'll know if he has it or where it is.
Seems a fair proposition.
Listen, I already told you that I liked you guys. You're good for business, you got a significant amount of money, and so far you've proven to be like assholes, sure, but you're assholes I like. And you, Simon, I can see how important this is to you. So let's get this done, and we can talk about compensation later. You got my full arsenal at your disposal if need be. We can take it. But we gotta finish this task first, and we gotta get you guys the show. Now, if anybody has any objections to this plan thus far, please speak now.
I think we should make a couple of stops beforehand to maybe switch out just make sure that there will be no guns used, because that might as well be ringing a bell. Literally, by how loud this gun is. Sorden's gonna touch a sword.
Put on a silencer. Do you see it? It's a big, long fucking cylinder.
Does it silence it?
I want to shoot it. I want to shoot it. Can I shoot it?
No.
Adrian? Can I shoot it, Adrian?
You want and he whistles and calls an unseen servant to put out another.
Can I shoot it?
Yeah, dummy.
Fuck yeah! I'm gonna fucking shoot it.
Well, this is what I'm proposing right now. Just send in Sword and I, and then Adrian will open up his coat, and he doesn't have weapons on his hips or anything like that. I don't use guns; they're not my specialty. However, he'll roll up his sleeves and detach the bracers that are on his arms, both of them allowing him to flick out derringers, and he'll take them off. So now I'm completely clean of firearms. If I get patted, the only thing that I have is a deck of cards. I always keep that on me, it's a lucky charm. But that is also how I primarily do my fighting when it needs to be done. Sword in here, well, he's my bodyguard. If I present myself as a weak man supported by a folk hero, well, that's going to bump up our story.
Sorry, what was that you cut out? Okay.
Like, of how important that I potentially am. The fact that I can get a Sun Smite to guard me is significant. So here's where the complication comes in a little. Now, let's even assume for a second that I do get a meeting. And that's an if. What is this meeting going to be about? First idea that comes to mind is I'll straight up ask him, I am a collector of items, and I am looking to purchase something that you came into contact with. Now, that might set him off, and then I might just get blown up right there, which, acceptable casualty, sure. But is there a different way to approach it? Should I just be looking through the office? How do you guys want me to do this? I'm flexible. Here's the counterpoint on that. I don't think he really cares about this country. He cares about his own self-interest, and sure, the people are somebody that he looks after, but that's because it's part of the job that gives him money and power.
How
Well,
about...
what sort of noble
I
doesn't
have a-
want
I
to
have a-
look after his subjects?
Tentoria will interject at that point and say, I wouldn't be so sure. I think that there is some sense of nationality. No, wait, it's word over here. When you're proud of your country.
Patriotism.
Patriotism. Yes, thank you. It's like that probably is some level of patriotism, but exactly how far that goes, anyone is willing to guess. Perhaps he's simply playing the part, but I don't think that's true.
Okay, so
Patriotism aside, what are his interests?
The only interest I know about him having is simply working his way up the ladder, rising the ranks of nobles. He did come from nothing, after all.
So, is he a businessman? Does he have manufacturing here? Perhaps crops? How is it?
She'd tell you that he's pretty much a noble through and through. He does, because each noble essentially has something that they're in charge of. Itza, or her dad, his name's more complicated, but we're just gonna say Itza is in charge of the industry section, and it's why he's suddenly so much more important than he really should be, since the industry coming from Alkenstar and Machina is so drastically changing the landscape. It's really catapulted him to the forefront of events when before it was kind of a niche category.
All right. Well, that is a possible angle then.
I have a...
If he is in charge of industry, well, if all this free labor, well, nothing against you, Sivas, if the Arisen are no longer able to help provide some manual labor, then manufacturing and industry goes down. Not only that, but who's to say that the Arisen don't destroy what has essentially brought him to his position now? Sounds to me as if the Arisen rise up again.
Rise up.
Then, then he's at risk at losing quite a bit of what made him the man he is today.
Could I,
Yes, so he has reason enough to help us in his own self-interest.
throw out my idea here? It might be pretty fucking stupid, but it's an idea.
All ideas are fucking stupid ideas. Go for it.
Thanks for encouraging me.
I didn't say all your ideas. I said all ideas.
No! Oh, no, I'm saying thanks for encouraging me to, like, throw out my idea.
Oh, you were being serious. That sounded like sarcasm.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't being sarcastic.
Just
Continue.
So there's that idea where you could say that Machina could be targeting him. Maybe. I don't know. And I think that could get us in there. You know, they have like a very urgent message for the guy.
with
Get what I'm saying?
with what proof?
He can just make something up or some shit. You know, it's not that hard to like forge a document. You know, get like this guy's signature and shit.
Sorden's gonna kind of motion his hand forward, just like, go on.
And, you know, he showed the guys, hey fam, the Machina wants your fucking head on a silver platter. Because they're really angry about the guns and shit and the treatment of the people. And if it works, we could get in and we could like confront him or something. But the problem is that it doesn't really bring in about the shard. How are you going to make him exposed to shard or some shit?
There's no doubt in my mind that he would really. I mean, true. I kind of like. I'll be honest. I kind of like Juraxis's idea there. Not all of it, but I do like the part about where we kind of tell him the truth about Machina.
I try.
What were you gonna say, Silas? Be more specific. I'm well aware.
I think he's meaning to ask, what parts are you, what part of the plan are you agreeing with here? One.
How about this? Here's an idea that anybody is free to oppose it, but it's going to be copying quite a few ideas. Sorden and I go and try to get an audience. We make it sound particularly urgent. We say that we represent an organization. We deal with world-class protection services. We see an opportunity here because we know that his life is in danger. Now, where that source is coming from, we're happy to share. Twofold. First, the Rune Lord of Sloth is currently a target to be killed. And by our sources, this target is more than capable of doing that, getting killed by this figure. You don't have to say the truth just yet. Now, we specify that if Sloth were to fall, that the undead would, in fact, come under new management, as you so say. If they come under new management, we have intel to show that the country of Sothis will immediately become under attack. Maybe not the truth, maybe it is. But what we are offering is the solution to both problems that the second problem being that he is also currently a target to be killed. Not only by Machina, who wants his head, but the person who is killing Runelord, well, they're going after people with shards. And we know he has one. The reason why is because the shard grants the user the one rank below Runelord, technically making him the Runelord of, what is he, Envy? Envy. Oh, maybe he doesn't know this. Maybe he believes it.
I'm gonna interject here. That might not be entirely true, because if there is currently,
That's the point. It's not true.
Okay.
I am well aware that that doesn't make him a rune lord. I know it's an item made by it, but maybe he's ignorant on the fact that, you know, I'm coming to him as this stranger who knows all of this stuff about him. Maybe I know more. So we tell him that this item technically classifies him as a rune lord, makes him a target because somebody wants and needs that item. But we're willing. We can bring him to a secure location, aka my bunker, and then we fucking gank him. Or rather than gank him, we politely ask him for the item. Yes, sir. You'd be secure inside. It's only got air for a couple of hours.
Idea.
I know you don't need to breathe.
There's a good idea right there.
Because we also... The only reason I'm able to get into this part of the city with it is because I have friends on the inside, as you've noticed thus far. If we try to get into the Council of Sun and Sky with an item that they recognize is capable of creating an extra dimensional space, I will be... Just let me know if that's fair to say, Blaine.
That's incredibly fair.
It is by providence, money, and friendship alone that I'm able to even get into this part of the... To hide his weapon, yeah. Oh, you mean bonding the item to the... Technically, it's possible, yeah.
Bond weapon is certainly more useful because you're not technically smuggling a thing in. You're just summoning it.
Bond item.
Yeah, bond item is actually way easier for smuggling things in than smuggling in a magic item, because you can detect a magic item and you can be like, hey, what's that? But you can't detect a bound item because it's not there. So certainly, but obviously the caveat being you can only bring one thing with a bound item. I'd say that's probably not, you know, I'd say no, I'm not going to allow that one. Bond item is... I have to look up the actual ruling. I don't think you can, like, bond item anything.
Let's repeat this, look at it. It's right here.
No more than 100 pounds.
I mean, my gun is magical, in a way.
I guess the only rule is it can't be more than 100 pounds.
No, it's an Artificer's. It's from the Artificer's Toolbox homebrew expansion. However, I will say that...
I'll go ahead and make a ruling as a DM, just to save myself a headache later on, that you can't bond item extra dimensional things. The entire idea behind...
Yeah,
it's gonna be a huge headache, where if you can just bond item your bag of holding every time.
Well, I mean, I think in-world explanation is already there. You can't put an extra dimensional space in a dimensional space. If
exactly.
You try to teleport, using that kind of ability, an extra dimensional item might cause a rift. Or, even if it was possible, Adrian's argument against it was, it is possible to ward a building in such a way that you're going to be able to know if a spell is cast inside of it. I've seen it done before. I've been busted plenty of times and only got out because I'm very smooth and because I shot them in the face, but that's besides the point. If you teleport this in, it's possible that whatever security mage is on detail that night is going to be able to see, like, oh, somebody just teleported something in the West Wing, and then we got an issue. Here's my suggestion. Yeah, no, please, go ahead. What do you mean?
He does not have a portable hole.
I do not have a portable hole. This thing is the closest that I have to that, and it's better than that.
Also important, because it might come into things. The entirety of the not necessarily the entirety, but as far as you're aware, the entirety of the Council of Sun and Sky is under a permanent zone of truth within its doors.
Oh shit!
This is kind of a Sathas tradition.
No need.
This is kind of a Sata tradition. It's kind of one of those things of, like, hey, no secrets, like anything you say in the council should be regarded as the truth, and you're basically made to willingly fail. Of course, there are plenty of conspiracy theories. There's plenty of people who's like, yeah, but there are ways of getting around that, and sure, maybe you can not voluntarily fail and act like you did. And whether or not the actual like practice matches up with the tradition is a matter of like question. You don't know, but the fact remains that the building itself, regardless of ways of working around it, is under a zone of truth. So if you want to walk in there and be like, "Yep, I'm just here," you can't do that. You would know that. Actually, like 3 of you would know that.
I don't need magic
So,
to get around a zone of truth.
Would there be a way to lure him outside of the building?
Don't
I mean, you know where he lives. That you could try to get him on his way to work is also a thing. He still has guards, but it's less than it would be if you just try to break into his house.
Yes,
Listen,
but
we
that
can
would
pay
most
him a
likely
house
be in the
visit.
daylight hours where he would be
Yeah.
very visible.
And yeah, there are plenty of city guards then that are added to the mix.
Also, I'm wanted.
Wanted. I'm sorry.
Listen, all I'm saying is we can pay him a house visit. That's fine. I'm more than happy to do that. However, we do also have the option of just approaching him in the Council of Sun and Sky. As long as Sorden here doesn't talk, no offense, Sorden, I think we're going to be okay.
I'm sorry.
Besides, that
Why?
would also put us on a better footing because the entire building is warded with Zone of Truth. If he believes the story that I weave for him, then that means we're even in a better.
I'm going nowhere near that sort of truth, dude.
I am not asking you to, believe me.
Yeah, I can, but what if somebody asks me a question? Do I just say nothing? But what if they get suspicious?
Right.
Holy shit.
Right now, I'm interested in keeping it right now to just Sorden and I. Because at the very least, I have a local with me, somebody important, or reasonable. And Sorden, to answer your previous question, no offense to you, but sometimes you talk yourself into a corner.
When have I ever?
Hey, Sorden, pass me your sword real quick.
Oh, will do. I hand him my sword.
Okay. I walk 10 feet back, and I hold it up. Alright, can you do me a favor? Can you run really fast over here and come take it from me?
I potentially could do that.
Yeah, please do.
Do I need to do it now?
Yeah, I'd love you for... Yeah, please.
Yeah, of course. I will do that right now. Blank, you already know what I'm doing.
Sorry, I was typing to you. You can read that in a bit.
That is actually...
Probably not helpful, but it's just one of those things that happens.
I mean... I like it. Thank you. And I pat my arm. Regardless, yes, I can do that. So, I am going to, just very quickly grab my weapon back from Mr.
Are you doing your usual trick here?
Oh, yes, I am.
Sleight of hand. You're really bad at this trick.
What if?
What was it?
Hold on. Can I replace it?
You can.
Nice. And by replace, I mean roll with advantage,
Yes,
because that's my roll with
know.
advantage.
Go ahead and let me know then. Okay. Adrian, what's your passive perception?
I can't tell. Parker, can you open my sheet? But I would also be watching, so wouldn't it just be a perception?
That's true. I'll go ahead and roll perception for you. 15. He's paying attention, so we rolled a 15.
So if you could just roll perception.
I just did. It's a 15. Is it even a secret?
We saw him do the trick the first time.
Yeah, that's true. He does the same trick. And with your perception, you can tell that, yep, same trick.
Yep, he doesn't move. He just kind of jerks his body a little.
Yeah, he looks like he. I ran around the world just now. I was too fast. You couldn't see it. And you're like, yep, gotcha.
I'll smile at him and I'll say, "How'd you do that? How'd you get so?"
Miles every morning. I haven't been doing it as much lately.
You're cutting out a lot there.
In my training regiment, I would run 3 miles every day within a very short amount of time.
So, you know how your father is, Jeb?
Of course.
You know how he's one of the most important men in the city?
Of course again.
You know how I seem to know a lot of important men in this city?
I'm sorry, is there a road stop between here and the point?
There sure is. The road stop is you, son. You can't necessarily hide what you are. From me, at least, or for long from anybody. You have a problem with talking yourself into a corner. You just told me that you just ran so fast that nobody in this room could see you move. We have an undead man, me with a portable bunker. We have sorcerers over here who can use shadow magic. We have that dude who has an eagle eye and puts holes in plate mail the size of watermelon from 1,000 feet away. We have a catbird dragon. How many people do you think you can avoid?
Catbird dragon pirate.
Like, look, I point at, just look at him. I was gonna walk up to him one day, just like introduce myself when you guys first got. I didn't even get within a mile and his head was already looking in my direction. I didn't even know that was possible.
Jack.
Captain Jack.
Jack is hella perceptive. Jack has like 19 passive, I think. Something like that.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I thought there was bones in his neck. But it just seems to swivel. You cannot hide the truth from us. But what are you going to do if somebody asks you, oh, you're Sword and Sunsmite, right? And you're going to say yeah, and you're going to be like, well, why are you rolling with this schmuck? What truth are you going to tell?
I was hired, and I would like to work for this fine gentleman so that hopefully he can give me better connections so that I can slowly make my way up in the world, and then from there I can find a band of adventurers, and from there I slay a dragon or 5 or 12 or 3 dozen, and then I come home a hero and tell my father, well, I told you so, didn't I? And he will say, of course, son. And then we will go and we will fight because that's how we love each other.
You know what? That's probably the first thing I believed you said from the whole time that
I've been
So,
nothing
that
but truthful. Oh, come on.
Alright, so here's my plan as a... Well, actually, let me just get this.
Hold on, Eh? Pretty trustworthy, aren't I?
Cybus, you can tell that he's not exactly lying.
No, I didn't think he was.
My point is, I don't know why he rolled deception, because I think he's more or less on the level.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like, more or less. It's a
less.
simplified version, but it's not to say that it's completely untrue.
No, I don't doubt it, but that's not the point. Alright. How do we want to do this? Do we want Swordman and I to go to the house and then you guys can post up around the house, or do you want me to approach him in the council?
Preferably, not in the council.
Preferably what?
I'd rather prefer not to do in the council because I do not want to be there.
Okay.
I mean, if it happens, it happens. But I think I'll have better coverage, I guess, not in the council.
All right. So how about this? Tomorrow, I'll have a meeting. Potentially, try to get a meeting set up for tomorrow morning. What you guys will do is you'll go while it's still dark and post yourselves up around his home. Centauria can show you the way, I'm sure. And once you guys are posted up, you'll be within an area where we can summon you if need be. I have ways of doing it. Now, if you guys had a setting stone or anything like that, that'd be even easier for me. If you don't, who here? I can arrange for something to be done. That being said, Sorden and I will go tomorrow morning for if I get this meeting established, and I will try to lure him out of hiding. I'll try to figure out if the shard is on his person, and if it is, I'll offer our protection services and at least try to get him to a more comfortable area for us to ambush, such as my bunker. Sound fair?
I mean, that seems cool for me.
Meaning, I'm not going to take my bunker with me. I'm going to have it set up somewhere, and we're going to keep one of you or two of you guys inside of it. Or posted outside of it at the very least. Problems for anybody?
No, it seems fair. Oh, quick question, Adrian.
Yes, sir.
How long have I been working for you? We really should get the details hammered out.
Sure. You met me better on about a month ago, because that's when I first started. So I feel like that seems fair. You came into my... If they ask. Now, this is only if they ask. Don't go offering information. If he tries talking to you, I'm going to try to redirect the conversation back in my direction. But if he... Well, then the answer is you started working for me a month ago. That I pay you a nice handsome sum of 500 gold a week.
500 gold a week? What, do I look like a peasant?
Remember, you're not in it for the money, you're in it for the glory and the...
Can we settle on a, modest 700?
I'm not 750.
I shall take it.
Fine, great. I pay you 750 a week. You stick with me, you protect me, you're in it for the contacts, you're in it for the glory. You don't know the full extent of my business, but you've been briefed that you need to protect certain people with your life. Is that understood?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna make you believe that in a second, so don't worry about it. But, yeah.
That sounded ominous.
Connecting.
Don't worry about it.
Well,
So,
that's enough
I'll
to
visit his
convince
house.
me.
Yeah. Great. Alright. So, we can get this bunker.
I'm sorry?
What part of town do you want to have the bunker?
Warp drive active.
Guys.
My opinion is we make it look like as official as possible, meaning we get it in a nice middle-class hotel, we get a very nondescript room, and we put the bunker in the nondescript room under the rug, just acting like layers and layers of witness protection, basically.
Alright.
Can a chance? Can somebody else move your bunker other than you?
I can enable that possibility, yeah.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to, but if you need it run somewhere specifically, you can get it there fast. Just say the word.
Alright.
That way.
So, I'm going to spend some time readjusting the bunker's permissions to allow it to be moved specifically by Captain.
What about the
seems fair.
guards? The ones that will be
Now,
posted.
more than likely he's gonna have his guards come with him. But I will try to make him understand that he can bring a select few with him if he should so wish. Ooh, that's creepy. What's going on outside? Sorry, I just
More
had
men of the
Fucking
corn.
the motion lights
The
around.
fact that you
detector went
earlier
on.
Sandman.
the fact that you earlier had like a man standing half hidden by corn, and now you're like, oh, there's something creepy going on outside. Hang on, I'll be right back. And I'm like, and he was never heard from again.
Oh my
Sandman.
god.
Yes.
You don't recognize the bodies
Yes,
in the
Ash?
water.
What'd you say?
You don't recognize the bodies in the water.
No, I don't recognize the bodies in the water.
I'm not getting that reference.
It's an SCP reference.
Ooh.
Anyway, yes, I love SCP. So I'm gonna change the permissions to allow Captain Jack to be able to move the bunker and open it. I'm gonna set it so that these permissions expire in a week.
Okay.
No offense to you, Jack. Just business.
Of course.
I am also going to, when I leave the bunker, I'm gonna message you some stuff blank, seeing if I can arrange for certain things, but I'll let everybody out of my bunker while I start calling people. And
Okay.
you guys are free to do whatever you want, prepare however you want. Oh, one thing I would like you guys to do, all of you, when you get the opportunity as soon as possible, head into the more finer clothing areas. Like I said, just drop my name, you'll get a discount at the very least, for most people. And I would like you guys to kind of settle on a uniform. I would like you to pick that now. If I'm running a world-class protection agency, my agents are going to have uniform.
Aw, shit, dude. Looks so fucking fine.
If we are a company, it would make sense at the very least to have a name associated with us. How else would we be?
The Golden Sun
Okay,
Security Agency.
I disagree. Well, here's where I disagree. I don't like putting names on things. Names have power. You put a name to something, then anybody can know it. I like the idea of we don't necessarily have a name, we find you.
I am being best kobold.
The uniform without a name. That seems like a great, fucking
Also,
purpose.
I'm gonna go grab some soda from downstairs. I'll be back in like 5 minutes, because by downstairs I mean the trunk of my car, which is actually outside. But that seems weird. Never mind. So I'll be right back. Let me know what the official
go
plan
ahead.
is
Give us time to talk.
when I get back.
Oh, no, here's why I'm saying it this way. If we had a name, that means officially that we exist in some capacity. The idea that I'm rolling with here is that we don't necessarily exist in the public eye. If we have a name, how would it? Somebody interrogates you, you ask them what organization that you work for. You don't know. Doesn't have any. Hard to give up people that you work with when you don't really know who they are. You guys can pick code names, whatever the hell you want, establish that ahead of time. My point is that we are supposed to be operating at the highest levels of discretion. We are going to be an organization that, if you need us, we find you. If you're able to find us, you don't need it. Thank you. I've run through some blockades before. I know what I'm doing. Now, even though we are a secret organization, we are small, but we are potent. We should still have something that identifies us as teammates. I prefer a uniform to something that looks vaguely professional. The clothing matters less than. I need something that's one identifying mark. Maybe a golden armband, maybe a picture of, a tattoo of a moon, something. But I need you guys to settle on something now so I know what we're using.
I would prefer if it was not a armband.
How about a head of a vulture?
As long as it's not an armband, I see no qualms with this.
You see vultures. God. I don't think. I wanna say it here. I'm pretty sure in this kind of weather it might not be very suitable.
That's about a golden gear. You all seem to be pretty on top of modern technology, or modern creation. Seems like it'd be a symbol
Talking
that
to me
maybe we could
specifically, or
soon.
Yeah, I can give you guys more modern weapons to make it look like you actually are part of the same org. You don't have to use them, but it's a good.
No, as a symbol of a gear. A golden gear.
Oh, I see what
Metal
you're saying.
gear.
Ooh, what if it is a pin that can be simply fixed upon the shirt?
Embroidery.
That looks like a gear.
Yes, a gear pin.
Yeah, and hide it under a lapel. Sure, that makes sense to me. I can have those made. I can get those to you pretty quick. You guys, what I suggest that you do, take some time and whatever money you have right now to get out there and start loading up on potions or whatever else that you might need for any big fights coming ahead. If you can get some spell scrolls, highly recommend.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Spell scrolls that I would particularly looking at getting, if you're capable, if anybody in this group is capable of casting, is Misty Step, Dimension Door, the things that help you get away.
How much are? Do you know how much?
Now I don't know if you guys have a lot of potent casters, but it's an.
Do you know how much Dimension Door is? As a scroll?
No idea off the top of my head.
Ooh,
I'm looking it up. One moment.
similar to this, and Sorden's gonna kind of point towards his chest where you see the little gear pin, just like put onto his like.
Is that your family insignia?
No, of course not. My family's insignia is a sword.
Of course.
320 gold.
That's a no for me.
And that's for a D-door scroll.
Are you talking to me? Sorry, I'm typing to blank. Yeah, probably. It would probably get you on a watch list. Yeah, you get on a watch list.
No fly zone. Try and look for any information about a potion of invisibility. Or something that can help me benefit.
Potion of invisibility is 180.
I am stingy.
Well, you shouldn't be.
Do you think I'm made out of gold? Sword in.
Well, you should be.
What if I don't want to be made out of gold? I'm not Midas.
Why wouldn't you? Why would you not want to be made of gold?
Because that seems like a really bad thing to be. Because, you know, people might want, you know, a living person made out of gold. Really wish I had money. Really wish I had more money than what I have now.
You know what would make you a lot of money?
Sucking dick.
I was going to say being made of gold, but that technically does work.
Yeah. Oh shit. On what? Uh. I mean,
back.
There's things that I want, but I'm broke as shit. I mean,
I
I
got-
do have money, but I want to hold on to it for emergencies.
I got distracted because my roommate just started watching American Horror Story, and I was like, oh my god, I have opinions.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
You have opinions.
I'm not gonna go into depth. Yes, I saw this. I'm not gonna go into depth, but also, it's just not. It's like the least scary thing to ever happen. And I'm upset that they promised me scary stories, and then I was watching it, and it's like, your house is haunted by gay interior decorators. Ooh. And I'm like, this is the least scary thing, unless you're like a super fucking overly religious conservative person. Maybe that's your nightmare, but for the rest of us, that's the least spooky thing ever.
That seems actually kind of funny.
It's really not scary. I can't think of anything less scary than that to be haunted by.
A jar of peanut butter.
Even then.
That was seasoned during.
What if you don't remember putting it there, and you're like, wait a minute, did I... Like, what if you just always have a jar of peanut butter, and you're like, who the fuck keeps putting peanut butter in my house? I haven't bought... That could actually be really terrifying. What if you just, like, you haven't bought anything, you haven't bought it, but you still have just a jar of peanut butter, and you're like, I know I threw that away, and it's back again. Who the fuck is breaking into my house to put a jar of peanut butter on the shelf? I could see that being scary.
That could be a
Scarier
little
than gay
scary,
interior
but
decorators.
it would be useful. Like, it would be way more useful
Would you-
than it would
would
be
you-
horrifying.
It'd be funny.
Would you eat the weird ghost peanut butter?
Yes.
I wouldn't.
You know, people.
If I was in the mood for peanut butter, I'd be like, damn, pass that peanut butter over.
Say, hey, Charlie, Ghost Charlie, pass me the peanut butter over there.
Okay.
Have you guys ever read the?
No, I'm sorry, I'm done.
Have you ever read the 4chan story of the pineapple guy?
I don't think that I have.
He had a and to get back at his high school bully, the only thing that he could think to do was just mess with him. He put a pineapple in his locker. The pineapple would be in his desk. And then he got into his house because he left the back door open and he put a pineapple on his bed. He would just put a pineapple wherever this guy went until he had a mental breakdown.
I remember this, actually. That's a great story. I love that one.
No, I don't remember. I've never heard this story before.
It's great.
I'll try to remember to link it after. But yeah, sorry. Let's get back into.
Oh man.
What the hell are we listening?
I'm sorry. He put it on because we were talking about peanut butter haunting. Also, band name. I was just gonna say peanut butter haunting.
I'm with blank on it. I'm with blank. Alright, let's do this shindig.
So, shopping.
I wish.
Well, hang on. I saw the. Hang on. I will say that finding a wizard to I don't know if you're keeping things secret. Yeah, you're not keeping it secret. Finding a wizard to cast modify memory isn't easy because that's not a service that you advertise for. Like, oh hey, do you want your memory erased? Sure, it's over here. No, no one does that.
It was in Total Recall.
I'm imagining just standing outside of a movie theater and being like, man, you like that movie? How would you like to enjoy it again? Anyway.
Using 5th level spells for good.
But you do have contacts. Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check to see if you can smooze up anyone to cast modify memory without any questions asked.
Parker, can you do that for me?
I got it.
Persuasion.
I'll allow it. If only because it saves me some time. Stop it! I thought it was in response to me saying because it saves time. Joke tracks. But yeah, so you know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy how to modify someone's memories. Just come down this shady alley. But
Alright, Swordon, I need you to come with me.
What for?
We're gonna go take care of your brain.
I'm sorry, what?
We're gonna take care of your brain real quick.
You need to feel my brain?
take care.
Oh, take care. Ah, I could handle that, most likely. Oh. I'm not getting a call just yet. If I do get it, he probably just got disconnected.
Let's see if it comes back on the 3rd day. Let's see if it rises. You came back
Hello?
on the 3rd day. How do you feel? How does it feel to be risen?
Can you guys hear me?
What? I don't even understand
It's a
what symbol
golden
was.
gear.
I didn't agree on that.
Yes, we did.
No,
Of course we
I
did.
feel like a golden gear is really wearing a fucking badge of Machina, which isn't exactly great sometimes.
Which is why I said my symbol.
A
No, I'm
gear
having-
made
I'm
of
having
bone.
pins.
That's even worse.
I have an idea.
No, everybody shut up. I have pins being made. Leave it alone.
Oh my god.
Okay, well, hear me out.
What, you mean the ones with guns on them? Because that's better.
Guns? I
Mhm.
even put. Oh.
You can make it swords. I don't care.
No, that's my family crest. We cannot use swords. Unless, of course, you want to make use my family crest, then of course we can. But I mean, with no pressure or anything.
All of this is to say, you guys disguise yourselves. I'm willing to say that you can make it subtle enough that it's not just like, hey, look, we've got fucking counterculture pins. Arrest us, please.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go
Besides,
check
it's
the
not
other
it's not a
one.
crime to have a pin that has a gun on it. It's just gonna make you look a little bit more suspicious. And same with cogs.
What if
That's why I said the head of a vulture.
we get a pin that looks and feels like a loaf of bread? After our good friend here.
Or it doesn't matter.
It
Yeah, are you?
I'm dragging Swordon out to that.
Okay, I will see you all in a bit. Hey, after this, do you think I could go on a run? I started thinking, I haven't gone on an evening jog in
After
quite
this-
some time.
After this, you're probably gonna want some ice.
Some ice?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, can we get ice of cream?
Ice cream.
Ice of cream.
So heading back, hang on. Heading into your contact, you've known a guy who's known a guy who can cast modified memory, no questions asked, and you used his services several times in the past because sometimes you need to hide certain people, you need to make a guy forget something. It's a very useful spell. So this alley wizard Abrex says, "Hey, heard you've got a guy who needs a memory change."
Mr. Adrian, I do not feel comfortable around this man.
You're not gonna
It's
feel
like
that
a
way
really
for long.
Mr. Adrian, what business do we have here?
I am going to make sure that your memory of the situation is.
Isn't that dangerous by chance?
No, not at all. Only by prolonged exposure.
It really
I've only
depends
done
on the
it 6,
memories
7
you
times.
insert. And you see, if you insert too many weirdness, you start thinking, you start remembering things that shouldn't have happened. We call that amnesia dissonance. You see, when what you remember and what you suddenly remember don't add up, and then you start thinking that maybe reality is all a simulation. No, of course, to keep the story simple, it's not going to have that kind of effect, but we have had several clients have bad epiphanies about the state of reality.
Mr. Adrian, I am very afraid. I do not wish to go through this.
No, it's fine. You
Yeah.
see, you actually do want to go through with it once I do it. It's like a roller coaster. It's everyone's scared the first time, but it's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, exactly. See?
Roller coasters totally exist in Dungeons and Dragons. Shut up.
I was gonna say, but I didn't. I was like,
Machina has made a lot of advances in machinery in the past. I'm just saying.
Look, and I'll pull out a sheet of paper with the story on it, and I'll hand it to Adrian, not Adrian, Pi, and I'll say, look, this is the story that you're gonna get put in your head. It's fine.
Okay, but do not remove the part where we get ice of cream.
I will not.
Okay.
So I just need you to not focus on things.
Alright, so
Not focus on things.
what I'm gonna need you to do, just kind of stare to the middle distance for a second, and think real hard about nothing.
Drive active.
That seems as if it is a double contradiction.
And halfway through your sentence, he casts the spell.
Oh no!
Sorden, you are standing in an alley with your client, the person you're currently protecting, Adrian Walker. It's been... Suddenly you're like,
No, he doesn't protect me. He works for me.
Sorry, I read it, but I don't have it memorized already. That this is all standard procedure. That this is just one of the several memory wipes that you've been through to ensure that each week you can't be broken under torture. You've made it quite far in this seedy town, and suddenly you're noir. Headcanon. Sothis is
You're doing quite
searching
well.
for anything in Sothis is like finding a needle in a haystack, and sometimes the best way is to jump in and roll around until something stabs you.
Adrian,
Are you alright?
I believe we should begin moving. It's not wise to stay with the mind wiper for too long. Thank you for your service, sir. I can't
Hey.
wait to see you next week.
Every week on the dot. Hey, how was that ice cream?
Oh, I don't remember getting ice cream.
Yeah, you do.
I do. I do remember getting ice cream. Oh, it was wonderful.
But you did
they
say
put
you wanted to go.
they put
I
chocolate.
made sure that you. Yes, they did. I made sure that you remember that you wanted to go take a walk in the desert. I didn't edit that part. Like, you still know what you want to do.
Well, sir, when does my shift change today so I can go for my evening? A ritual that I have not broken since I left my father's regiment training.
Hang on a second.
Just go perform your ritual and then meet us back here at midnight. Up in the...
Seems fair.
Yep, You're right on time for that. You have fun.
Oh, I will see you all later. Except for you. I will see you within a week.
Well, you won't remember it.
Won't I? I'm pretty sure I remember everything. Well, I will see you for work in the morning. I will be within my post at mid.
Great.
Okay. Goodbye. And then
Goodbye.
Sworden just kind of hands the guy his sword and says, "I will be needing this back later, but you can hold on to it for now, so it does not encumber me."
I will take.
Yeah, he'll hand it back to Adrian.
Goodbye. Sworden starts running.
Just runs off into the sunset, never to be seen again.
I pause for a moment and have to consider, where did I let him just go?
Kitty.
But cool. I'll be back in a couple minutes, but I can hear you guys.
All right. So, because I was a little bit out. Spice and Wolf.
Oh, you just activated it, didn't you?
No, I gotta keep it together.
No,
Yeah, but I know what this bucket is. Spice and Wolf. Anyway. Fuck you. Anyway. Stop distracting me. So what's everyone else up to? I know that Adrian and Sworden are doing their mind wiping thing, but I'm a little bit out of the loop. So what's the official plan now?
I kind of got lost.
go get outfits.
Right.
You both
So-
need new outfits to look nice. Also, yeah, you have to. Well, first you have to get like nice clothes to look the part. Then you have to get the uniform part.
I refuse to
Okay.
stop.
So
I
with
refuse to-
with a reasonably quick description of what you'd like, they can put together. It's not going to be like good. How would I put this? It's not going to be durable. It's kind of a rush job. They're going to adjust some things they already had to make it all look like it's the same kind of outfit. If you want this done within like the same day, then it's going to be a little bit shitty quality. Not that it needs to be. It's not armor, but yeah, you guys look like a proper outfit now, like a proper uniform. I'm not even going to charge you guys. It's not worth that much money that it's worth keeping track of.
Hooray. Anyways, so, the gist of the plan is to have people guarding the safe room, or, goodness, what is it? Sandman's secret hidey hole, if you will.
Right, the bunker.
Yep, I have permission to move it if needed, which is an added layer of security. They are going to chum up or chat up Tentoria's dad, and we're going to sit around and play Go Fish in the bunker.
Is Tentoria part of the negotiate with Tentoria's dad party? Because on the one hand, it might be a valuable tool. On the other hand, it might be a very bad idea. But you guys don't know.
Hell no, I'm not bringing.
Okay,
She'll be waiting in the wing.
fair enough. So the only people who are going to go communicate with Itza are going to be Sworden and Adrian.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to arrange for it to look a little more official by sending a courier requesting the meeting first, stating
Okay.
urgent business matters of life and death kind.
So it's a 9-to-5 job, working as a politician, basically. Are you trying to get him before he leaves, or are you trying to get him at home, or are you trying to get him like a meeting in the place? Where are you trying to drag him out?
What time of day is it right now?
We can reasonably say it's probably around like noonish because you guys were doing things.
So I'll have a courier wait for him at his house, outside the gate.
From when he gets home at 5.
Yep.
Okay, I was just making sure I knew
'Cause I'm gonna try to-
where this was happening.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to arrange this meeting at.
Okay, so skipping ahead, how exactly do you phrase the letter? This is important.
Dear sir, I hope this letter finds you in good health. I represent a international collective interested in safeguarding the future. We have reason to believe that our services will be of incredibly great importance to you. We hope to meet with you tomorrow in your humble abode on your terms or wherever you prefer. Please do not recognize these formalities as a sign of us trying to sell you something. We hope that we will be the people to save your life. And then I'll just put concerned collective.
Okay.
And I'll put that we'll meet him at his house tomorrow at 8, and then we'll just show up.
Give me a second. Okay, sorry, just reading DMs.
We in
Weird.
Italy?
I super don't. I don't think we're shopping though. Like,
I legit don't know what I can buy with my money that I have.
I mean,
Is,
anything on the general. I
I
mean,
mean-
come up with things. Like, ask questions. Be like, hey, here's what I want to buy, and then you text me. Like,
I mean, the last time I did that, I kind of wasted a bit of time.
that is true, but not particularly. We'll go ahead and roll persuasion. We'll see how it pans out, but it's going to be a very high DC because credit isn't as much a thing in D&D, especially for itinerant wanderers who just happen to be in the city. Hey, you've never met me before, and I have no form of identification, and I could be under a magic disguise, but you can trust me. Not even close. Yeah, the undead in particular, as I've said before, the friendship doesn't value money in the same capacity that most sane people do, because they have no need of it for most of their life, or unlife, as the case may be. The fact that you are an arisen, and the fact that you have never been seen before and have nothing to vouch for the line of credit that you're trying to establish, you got nothing. You got nothing to stand on here. But yeah, so we're time skipping ahead essentially to 5 p.m. when Itza gets home. Correct? If there's anything else that needs to be done, let me know.
Yep. Time.
Okay.
And
So
I'll have myself and, if he's willing, Captain Jack in the wings, how he physically reacts to the letter.
okay. So you can see he gets home. He's got again his cadre of guards. Is that how you pronounce it? His guards accompanying him back home, and
How many did we see?
about 8.
Okay.
But yes, he gets back to his house. You know that the message has. It's the same as submitting any piece of mail, really. There's a system for doing it. You don't need to like throw a brick through his window. So you wait and hope that he reads the mail. Essentially, the way this is set up essentially is that as soon as he finishes his message, he'll just put it back on the same courier that it came in on, and courier pigeons in this case will just return to the sender, or the familiars, or whichever version they're using.
Okay.
Oh, are you sending in Jasper to do it?
No. I was just saying that I'm just gonna give Jasper a nice coat of paint,
Okay.
so he can look pretty with the rest of us.
But heading back in, or the courier will deliver a message that essentially reads, I take threats to my safety very seriously, as would be expected, but any politician that has reached the level that I have is expected to have any number of threats to their position at any given time. I'm interested in pursuing a partnership if you deem it to be valuable and worth my time. Please meet me in my abode tomorrow, or it'd be He'd probably offer tomorrow morning.
Okay.
And yes, there would be that person who just DM'd me.
Storden and I will be there at 7 a.m.
Yep. So yeah, he's more than willing to meet with you guys privately on his own terms.
Mm-hmm.
And since none of us cast any spells or did anything crazy, we'll just assume that you guys use the same general sleeping arrangements. Nothing tries to assassinate you in the middle of the night. That being said, I'd say with that, I know Jack has passive perception of 19. Does anyone else have anything particularly high?
I have a passive 13.
The 18. So Jack and Cybus would probably see that
13.
13 is not an 18.
Oh, never mind.
With a 19 and an 18, you guys would see that after you guys sent the courier message, after you guys started going to sleep, you have a bit of a tail. There are a couple people that are watching you, but they're keeping a reasonable distance. You don't see any weapons on them. You try to make sure that you're not going to get assassinated, but I'll go ahead and let you guys know that essentially just you're being spied on a little bit.
Is it?
Well, the courier that...
Do you know what they look like?
I guess, are we being tailed in the sense that we're being watched by scouts, or being tailed in the sense that these guys clearly mean to ambush us in an attack?
In this case, Jack, you'd probably be able to tell that it's actually scouting, not ambushed lethal. It might be leading up to an ambush lethal, but so far these guys they're not moving in. They're maintaining a distance, and it seems like they're just here to gather information. You've tailed enough people to get the general moves you need to make to assassinate a person. These guys aren't equipped for the job.
So, what I'm going to do is have the courier that we used meet up with me again in an alley, and as they come to tail the courier, I'm going to be standing and waiting in the alley.
Okay. They see that you're waiting for them and that they've been found out. They'll keep their distance. They're not going to stop doing what they're doing. It's just that, okay, but it's still their job to look at you, essentially, to make sure you're not doing anything too fishy.
I know, I'm standing in the middle of the alley. If they want to follow the courier, they have to approach me. Or do they just stand at the alley and watch me?
They just stand you and watch you. They don't care about the courier.
Okay. Then I'm just going to continue to stand there and kind of do a little bit of a bow. And,
yeah, they're nonchalant. They're not, like, creepily
I'll...
staring. It's just that it's been decreed that you have eyes on you, essentially.
I'm going to approach.
Okay. Yeah, they'll probably just back off. They're not supposed to. They're not here to talk. They're just here to observe.
Okay. And once I get to the mouth of the alley, I'm gonna keep following them with my eyes until I see where they disappear. Just heading back towards their own.
If you were to continue following them, they're gonna maintain like a solid 60-foot distance from you at all times. And if you were to I'm just gonna keep walking at you and see what you do, then they'll probably keep heading back to Itz's place, because that's essentially where they expect you're gonna go.
Sure.
This is getting slightly too complicated. Just to say that essentially, just you've been ordered as points of interest. No one's trying to knife you, but unless you specifically say I'm going to lose the tail and do this in secret, then assume that you're being observed.
That raises a fun point. I'll ask. Goodness, you're not Vulcan anymore. Adrian, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll say, do you want me to follow them? Like,
You're more
sneakily?
Sure, I think you're just gonna go back to the house, though.
Alright. I'll meet you there. And so I'll stealth away and
Okay.
keep an eye on them.
Go ahead and roll stealth to see if you can lose the tail.
You got it.
What the fuck is wrong with that cat?
18.
It's tricky. These guys are more skilled than you thought. You're pretty sure you've lost them.
Um,
You don't know what their modifier is, but your perception is
Yeah.
what, +10, so
that's fair. Just as well, for safety's sake, I will also disguise self on myself.
okay.
Hello, Mr. Dragonborn. And then I will attempt to basically tail them to watch where they go.
In the process of losing them, you kind of had to obviously break line of sight. Go ahead and roll me another perception check to see if you can re-find them now that you're a Dragonborn.
21.
Let me go ahead and roll natural 20. They're fucking gone.
Yep. It's hide and seek.
Yeah,
Ooh, better. It's
you did
cat and mouse.
You did a pretty good job losing them. And as soon as you like go back to turn the tables, they lost track and they fucking ghosted. Don't stick around.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that's why. That was also why Adrian just approached them direct. In my experience, best way to lose a tail is let them know you're there and then approach them.
Yeah, I mean, two different versions. You're not going to lose a tail by approaching them, but so
No,
Jack,
but they'll be like, "Oh shit, what's he doing?" and then run.
Jack, you can assume that you're no longer being tailed. Everyone else assume that you're still under observation. Or is everyone else
Everybody
in
was
the?
with us, that's the thing.
That's yeah. So everyone else is in the bunker except for Sorden and Adrian, correct?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So yeah, that means
Situation.
that only 3 people are on the board, and of them, 1 is hidden and has the rest of them in tow. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and get to this thing. So Adrian and Sorden, you had a pretty good exercise, you had a pretty good rest. You're ready and waiting for your mission.
Hell
Poor
Also,
bastard.
along the way, I would have seen like a falcon, a beautiful falcon, and I would have probably approached it. And once it, was very hostile to me because it's a very wild animal, I would have just found a pigeon and just picked that.
Hang on. I feel like I missed something. I feel like I missed something about the fucking pigeon that you wanted.
Oh,
God damn it! All of you want things.
I'm sorry, Blank. I don't want anything, but others said they did, so I had to say.
and that's why I got the seeds from earlier.
Okay. Pieball, yes, you now have that. That is a classic.
Hell yeah.
question. Let's have a simple question.
Second day, I said third day. You'd probably get a reply.
You said second day.
I said 2 or 3 days.
2 or 3. You said I was hoping for the second day.
It's the third day. Life is sad. Get used to it.
I already made myself sad. Now my day is ruined.
Don't say that to fucking Ash. She'll take it as an invite.
Blank told me the world is sad, so it must be true. I want to know what that fucking cat gif is from. That seems,
I've never seen it before.
I mean, maybe not, considering I made it pretty recently.
Wait, from what?
What?
Wait, did you
Don't
draw
worry
that?
about it. No, I didn't draw it. But I made it the GIF that it is.
But where is it from?
It was pretty recent Flash. I don't remember what it was called.
How dare you?
It has birds.
Cheese,
I'm back, by
cheese,
the way.
cheese for everyone.
Okay, well, Sam's back, so we're gonna go do the thing. So yeah, so hang on, recollecting my thoughts here. Jack, you get close enough to Galavask, I believe his last name is. Pronunciation on these
Yes.
names is killing me.
Yes.
So Galavask's house is again pretty ritzy in the Marble Court. Let's go ahead and move everyone over there.
Ritzy.
Actually, yeah, pretty ritzy. I say that word a lot. It turns out. Never mind. But let's go ahead and put Jack on
At
the
least
board.
it's not gritty. Thank you. Here I'll be.
But you're keeping to the shadows. You're pretty sure that you've ducked any kind of notice. Meanwhile, Sordon under modify memory, and Adrian are wandering up to the front gates. They're stopped, albeit peacefully, by the mercenaries at the front gate. State your business.
We have a meeting.
The concerned party, I'm to assume.
I see me, and I see him, and I understand. I understand that Izzy is inside, so I believe we're all here.
Follow me. You guys are accompanied by about 6 mercenaries. Jack, if you wanted to continue following at a reasonable distance, you're gonna have to sneak past like 4 dudes, which isn't impossible. It might be a little bit tricky. You're pretty stealthy. And I'd say that given the fact that Adrian and Sordon are pulling this off, you'd probably have an advantage on a stealth check because they're distracting pretty handedly.
Wait, I forgot to ask Blake. Did I manage to score a sending stone for me?
Yeah, it wouldn't be hard to find that.
Alright, so Jack, you have a sending stone that's connected to me.
Alright, hey.
But yeah, do you wanna try to sneak past these dudes to remain in 60-foot radius for dashing, or how far can you dash in a round?
A lot further than that.
Okay. Then
At max, 30 becomes 60, 120, 240 without expending any spells or potions.
what is wrong with you?
Jesus.
Oh, wait, sorry. Hold on.
Like, are you talking
30
about in
becomes 60, yeah,
general,
240.
or like you specifically?
Me specifically.
Whew. That's a lot of speed.
Yeah. Oh no, my max speed, like with all my buffs and stuff, is like. Hold on.
But anyway, so never mind. You don't need to fucking move anywhere. You can very easily get in there and throw a hatch down. Yeah, but if he's not doing it stealthily, then he can just like run in fucking linebacker style and throw the thing down. Isn't it an action to deploy the hatch though? Because if it's an action to deploy the hatch, then it means you don't get a dash action. At least not on the same turn.
I can bonus action dash, and I can free action to maxi movement.
Well, then never mind. You can do whatever the fuck you want. God damn it.
Spaxy's hell of a drug.
Salmon, you good now?
Also, I don't think I have a full grasp of what is going on in terms of the plan.
The plan essentially is you're just backup in case anything goes horribly wrong. And by out, he means like deploy the hatch in combat because it's easier than everyone sneaking into the building.
Alright. Yeah.
Adrian and Sorden are going to try to talk to Itza and see if they can negotiate the shard out of him.
Sorden doesn't talk. Sorden's been hurt too much by words.
I guess what would be a reasonable distance to be able to recognize that they are in danger?
You have an earring. You're not going to be able to see anything that's going on in there, but assuming that there's no way to block the communication, then he could very easily have like a panic word.
Bazinga.
But I set up a panic word with Vulcan, not Adrian.
What do you want to do?
Are you back?
Yeah.
You know what? I'll have asked you beforehand, or at some point we have a stone. Do you want me to tell you guys in, or wait for a panic
Wait in the distance.
before I come in?
Just wait back.
All right. So yeah, I won't bother sneaking in just yet.
Okay. So you're in position waiting outside in case anything goes wrong. Meanwhile, Noir, Sorden, and Adrian are just going to be escorted in by about 6 guards. Or mercenaries, I should say. Slightly different. It's definitely a different style than Sorden's place. Sorden's place is surprisingly traditional, if a bit Spartan. Itza seems to have... Hang on a second. The only people who are not in the bunker are Jack, Sorden, and Adrian.
Correct. And even in the bunker, they would be in uniform and waiting in the wings, but the Tentori is going to be hidden behind.
But yes, Itza seems to have maybe not a fascination, but an interest in foreign decor. It's surprisingly Varisian in here. There's a lot here that you'd recognize from Magnamar or Corvosa or Riddleport. It doesn't dominate the space, but you can tell that he's either a man who enjoys globetrotting, or he's someone who at the very least likes the aesthetic appeal to it. All the same, you're escorted pretty tightly. You don't get much chance to explore his house, as you are taken to essentially just a study, a pretty ordinary small room, where in front of you is a younger middle-aged man. Either that or he's just aged pretty well. Hard to say. But bold, seems... How do I put it? Think Ben Kingsley.
Okay.
But he'll nod in appreciation. And now I'm gonna get the fucking accent wrong. He'll nod as you guys take a seat. It's a small office, and the 6 mercenaries still flank the area such that the door is firmly behind them. If you guys want to get out of here, then you're gonna have to either duck past them or make some athletics checks. But you get the idea. It's a bit of a power play. But he nods. I take it to understand that you are the ones leaving the note.
You'd be correct, sir.
Well, you understand that it's very concerning if I find a slip of paper that states that my life is in danger. Not that I'm not already aware of the many plots against myself and many of my co-workers. It's a dangerous field, being in leadership, as I'm sure someone of you would understand, Mr.
Walker, sir. Adrian Walker.
Oh, it's good to know we're being honest today.
Yes, of course. I know you know who I am. I can't say that my name is going to be the same next week, though.
Well, we're both in the same business, I could say, Mr. Walker, and so I'm happy that we can speak plainly. You seem to have information that I currently lack, and this bothers me to some small extent, and I'm sure there's some things that I know that you'd be quite interested to find out. So, let's be direct here. What is it I can do for you, and what is it you can do for me?
A number of different things. And at this point, Adrian's gonna drop the southern drawl. We have issues, Mr. Galavas. Quite a number of issues. Now, where we currently stand is in a precarious situation, both of us together. Now, I'm not asking for your guards to leave the room. I know you would never do such a thing, but which of these guards do you trust with your life? All of them? Or some of them maybe not so much?
I'm quite confident in my hires, sir.
All I'm suggesting is, if you have somebody that you trust more, you pull them into the room.
That sound was like you pulling a gun. Anyway. So you're basically just saying, hey, how about you pull in a guy that you trust with your life? Like he's already got 6 of them though. I don't know what you're asking here.
I know. All I'm offering here is like everybody has their favorite employee. If you have the favorite employee on staff and he is not currently in this room and you would like him to be here and you want to swap him out with somebody else, feel free. But I'm trying to let him be like, we're not going to do anything. We're not dumb, like as possible.
No, he's happy with the 6 he has.
Understood. So, like I said, complicated situation. You want honesty. I'm more than happy to give it to you. What do you know about me? Maybe I can fill in some
Shit.
Well, they say never offer anything for free, so I'm afraid I'm going to have to decline on how much exactly I know. Suffice to say that I know that you're a man who sells wares of a questionable variety. Now, as I'm sure you're aware, I oversee the Council of Industry. It's my decision as to what is made legal and illegal, at least insofar as what is produced mechanically within the walls of the city. So, you can see where it's a little bit troubling that someone like you makes such a hefty profit off of something that I am unfortunately taking quite a bit of heat for in the let's just say less fortunate regions for having penalized.
What if I told you that I can make the flow of guns disappear into this city tomorrow?
I think you're quite overestimating the amount of pull you have in your organization, but that's for you to prove and for me to be surprised about.
I may not supply every weapon in this city, sir, but I do have friends of friends of friends. A quite expansive network, as I'm sure you have as well. The difference being my friends have a bigger gun. And that doesn't need to be here if it doesn't have to be. And we can keep things peaceful. Obviously, this issue with Machina, it's tomorrow's issue. We can make it yesterday's issue. However, there are things that we need to discuss. You seem to have a decent idea of who I am. You're absolutely correct. And you would also be correct in assuming, like I'm sure you do, that there's always more than meets the eye. Just like I know, with you, there is always more than meets the eye. So, allow me to be direct. How long ago did you require the Shard of Envy?
Give me 1 second. Anyway. How about we make this into a bit of an exchange? One question for one?
I'm more than happy.
Well, then, as a show of good faith, I'll go first. I acquired the Shard of Envy approximately 20 years ago, give or take. 23?
How old is Tentoria?
Somewhere in
I
that
believe.
somewhere in that vein.
Okay. Answers one question. I'll nod. And I'll wait for him to ask his question.
Wait. He asked 2 questions already.
Wait, what?
He asked if he could do it at a trade, and then a second question that was also stupid.
I'm
I thought-
trying to get him on my side, so I'm not gonna be a
Yeah, that's fair.
I didn't notice,
Oh, damn you, Cyvass.
but I'll nod and wait.
I feel like I missed a thing. Anyway. Okay then. You say that it's possible to halt the flow of guns into the city, and I think that's, quite a boast. Who's to say that your organization will honor your word, Mr. Walker?
If we have something of significant value to gain from it, they'll take my recommendation to heart.
Doesn't really answer my question, though. You see, because I just don't think that there's anything that you personally can offer them that will turn the tide of, quite a hefty amount of politics.
Sir, I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I care for this city about as much as I care for Magnamore, or Corvosa, or any of the other big names. They're all just cities. It's all just people. I'm just looking at numbers here. Numbers is what I care about. Numbers is what I do. And for the purpose of balancing a great scale that you can't quite see yourself yet. I'm not saying you're a dumb man, it's just that we're not exactly playing the same game. My game is global. Yours is local. Doesn't lessen your value. It's just my pull is in different ways than your pull. If required, I'll kill every member of Machina tomorrow if I had to. I'm hoping it doesn't come to that, though.
Sorry about that. He'll raise an eyebrow at that. I can appreciate your conviction. I believe it's your turn.
Sure. Now, follow-up question. Where is the shard currently? You don't have to answer if you don't want to, just as I won't answer some things that I don't want to.
No, actually, it's quite fine. I don't know.
Fair
Now,
enough. You owe me a question, and then obviously I have a phone.
here's where we get into the weeds a bit. What is it you want for the shard?
What do I want for it?
Or, sorry, I'm the backwards. The other thing.
Oh shit.
Because you don't have this
Why
anyway.
do I want it?
Yeah, that's what I was going to. I'm dumb. He's smart. Please fill in with your imagination.
No, I understand. What is he trying to ask? What do I want to give
He's-
for it, or what do I want?
For what reason do you want the shard?
I'll be 100% honest with you, Mr. Galavansk. Me, personally, don't want the shard. I just want to make sure it gets into the hands of a group that many different factions. Now, Mr. Sorden here also represents that group now. He's obviously here as protection, but he is their newest inducted member, and they are acquiring said shards, and this is the next on the list. And I am here to facilitate them getting that.
Yes. Newest recruit. He'll look over at Sorden.
Did you say anything, Blank? Because you broke up a little bit.
Just pieballs. Sorden nods in confusion. Yes. I'm the newest recruit.
Of course I am. It's all a part of the plan that I don't remember.
Parts
It
of your
seems like he's
brain just
confused.
start. Your nose starts bleeding.
If it seems like he's confused, I had his memory modified yesterday evening in case this came to an ugly area.
Oh, it's funny you should mention that. We'll get to it. So, my understanding then is that you only want this shard so that you can give it to this group, but you haven't answered the question why you want to give it to this group in the first place.
They represent the best interests of many international and multinational groups. We have reason to believe that the shards are going to be a shield, something to protect from a coming darkness. something that even the most informed people in the world don't know about in full. The secondary reason being that anybody who holds this shard is currently a target. What do you know of the Rune Lords, Mr. Gallivanz?
I know enough to be informed. That's about it.
There is currently a player on the field that has already slain one Rune Lord. And I'm not just talking about a group that did it like 5 years ago. I'm talking one person did it by themselves. Anybody who holds these shards is being targeted just like a Rune Lord is. So me coming here was honest. Your life is genuinely in danger, but it sounds like you were not in possession of the shard.
If there's one thing you learn, being in the Council of Sun and Sky, it's how to answer a question truthfully without telling the truth. I do not know where the shard is, and that is honest to the Pharaoh, but I do know someone who knows where it is. I have a very convenient spell that you'd previously mentioned, Modify Memory, and I ensure that I simply don't have the information required. It's so easy to read minds or to force answers from someone who doesn't particularly want to give them away. It's best not to carry such dangerous memories, I've found. I can arrange to have the shard given to you, and if what you're saying is true, and it does certainly gel with the sources that I have, then I certainly have no reason to keep it, but I'd be a fool for giving away such a valuable artifact, especially if someone has such vast power as they are able to topple a Rune Lord is not willing to perhaps trade. I want to make this clear. I'm not aware of this particular threat, but perhaps he can be reasoned with, and I found that the enemy of my enemy can often be my friend. All of this is to say, I'm willing to trade the Shard of Envy. I'd like my daughter back, Mr. Walker.
And what would you like, Miss Raikan, for? And I specifically use her mother's last name and not his.
It's tragic to see a family split apart, and I realize that my daughter has been a bit wild, a bit chaotic, perhaps. I really do have her best interests at heart, and I've ensured that she has had some level of protection, or at least surveillance. She's gone on quite an adventure, met quite a few dangerous situations. I'd prefer greatly that she stop.
And for what reason might that be?
Is it so impossible to believe that a father cares for her daughter? She had her fun, she had her moment to shine, she accomplished much. Simply become a little bit too dangerous. She's gotten involved in too many things. I can only smooth over so many international incidents before eventually even my clout begins to reach its limits. At the end of the day, she's simply a wild card, and I can't afford to have her in my hand. I'd much prefer that she be somewhere I can keep track of her safely. If you'd like me to swear...
Exactly?
My home is perfectly adequate. See, this is the convenient thing about Modify Memory, is that you can implant any number of things, or erase any number of things that are troubling or problematic. I can ensure that Tentoria will live a decent life, a happy life. Perhaps dull life, but being being the daughter of a world-traveling diplomat is perhaps not the worst fate one can encounter. I'm not going to lock her in a cage or subject her to inhumane experiments. I have no reason to. I simply wish that she'd remain somewhere a little bit more reasonable. And I think a shard for a simple girl is, it's not the worst trade one can make.
He'll smirk at the term simple girl. Mr. Gallivanz. And he'll just kind of crane and crack his neck a little bit. He visibly just settles himself. There are a number of things that I am privy to. One of them being that Miss Raikon is not a simple girl. In fact, there is so much more to her than meets the eye, and of course you know that. She's never been a simple girl for you. Don't think that I am just some simple weapons merchant. I've traveled the world as well. I've done things that I have forgotten because, like you, I've made sure that the memories will never come back to haunt me. But there are things that I make sure that I maintain. Things like subject file, it's a Galavask, and things like subject file, Tentoria, Raikon Galavask, and things like that mysterious darkness inside of her that allows her to control shadows. Things like the fact that her memory was modified over and over and over and over again, and she had to be cured of this. And the fact, of course, that now she holds one of the shards. This is a little bird that you can't put back in a cage any longer, Mr. Galavask. She is so much more than you and I will be, ever, at this point. Now, if you have a proposal for how you're going to contain the amount of power that she wields, outside of modifying her memory, please let me know. Because to my knowledge, the power that she now wields either effectively negates that or makes it very, very difficult to put this little songbird back in her cage. What you're asking for, Mr. Galavask, is a sensitive subject for a number of reasons. One of them being that, you want to make sure that she's protected. You want to make sure that she's watched. I assure you she is being watched by people far above our pay grade, far above my pay grade. She's important to the things coming down the pipeline, and that needs to be maintained in an atmosphere where you're not the only master.
He'll sigh pretty heavily at the start of this whole thing, just because he was really hoping that she didn't manifest any weird shadow shit while she was gone, because that just makes his life fucking hard. Well, it was worth a shot at the very least. I wasn't lying, though. I do honestly wish her the best, and I hope only to protect her. And honestly, the modified memory is an easy solution for a complicated problem, and it's unfortunate that it's failed to take effect, despite its repeated applications. I have been thinking and studying and poking around to find a more permanent solution, and as of yet, I have yet to find anything satisfactory. Which isn't to say that I'm going to stop trying. Until such time as I find a solution, I'm simply going to have to contain her in a more robust environment. A stronger cage, if you will. And again, I do not mean to sound ominous or threatening, but she cannot be left to continue as things are. You're quite right, more to her than meets the eye, and I happen to know quite a few things already, and, well, nothing good comes from having such a dark creature wander the face of the earth unrestrained, despite whatever you may think. If she's indeed being targeted by such grand forces, there's no place safer than the home of Itza Galahask. Galavask. Everyone's gonna grab a stack during this RP session, it's fun.
Sir, I assure you that I sleep daily in a place that is more secure than this.
I mean, I'm still going, I'm just saying.
She is not something that can be contained in any size cage. Your best chance at containment is making sure that she is surrounded by people that care for her. If that is not this party, that will be this city. Because I know that she loves these people. I know that she does in part want to hold you accountable. She doesn't want your death, but she wants the truth about her mother.
Well, that is tricky, isn't it?
Isn't it?
To be perfectly fair, her mother has very different views on the cause of Tentoria's issues, and this is, in part, my fault. Here's where, again, I have to cordon my information a little bit. I wouldn't want to give too many things away, not for free at the very least, but She's trying to solve the problem, but she's looking in the wrong place. She's looking in a more naturalistic sense, and I think we both understand that there's nothing natural about Tentoria, not anymore.
No. However, your response to the issue was to change your daughter's memory and make her believe that her mother killed herself and that she was the reason. Is that what a good father does?
I'm a realist, Mr. Walker. I take the solution that I think is most likely to work. Not many people believe that their mother simply... walked off? There needs to be a believable story. And unfortunately, Tentoria's self-image was already a little bit lacking. I simply latched onto the thing that I thought was most likely to get her to stop asking questions. And who likes painful introspection, am I right?
I was a father once too. I can appreciate what you're trying to say. But I can appreciate it. Now, I can assure that your daughter will be protected for the rest of her days. There is one thing I need on that front. What is inside of her? What did you put in there?
Now that's one secret that I think is worth at least something. Let me think. How about a meeting with the leader of Machina? I believe his name is Amon.
Yes, his name is Amon. Are you hoping to strike a peace accord?
Amon is currently leading the single largest threat to Sarthas, and I've had discussions in the Council of Sun and Sky about this very issue. They're all rather dismissive of his organization, saying it's essentially just another strike rally waiting to happen. They're underestimating the threat that they face, and it will get them all killed, and I will swear on that. I hope that I can defuse the situation in a little bit less of an official capacity. Perhaps there are deals that I can make in the council on behalf of Amon, or perhaps there are rules that Amon can give his organization that make my life a little bit easier. Regardless, he has stonewalled any attempts that I've made for a peaceful reconciliation. I'd like that to end. A meeting. A simple meeting.
Yeah, go ahead.
You cut out, what?
Is that the end of it? Was it the end of what he was saying? A simple meeting?
Yes.
There is a visible facial tick for a second for Adrian, and then for whatever reason the Southern comes back. Now that's, I believe, something that we can accommodate. I've been hoping to arrange a bit of a cordial gathering. But
do you have multiple personalities, you fucker? Sorry.
What are you talking about? Sounds familiar, doesn't it? I can arrange for a meeting, sure. But you mean to tell me that he's been stonewalling you?
I'm sorry. Did he give you the impression otherwise?
Well, from what I was talking with him about, it seemed like nobody was listening to him, and that nobody would give him the time.
It's because he doesn't want to go through the official channels, and I can respect that. He's been going about this all wrong. We both know Amon, at least you know him better than I do, but he's not cut out for this. He's not cut out for this, and he gestures to the office and around him. He is, at heart, a simple man. He's a soldier. He sees everything in black and white, when really everything is infuriatingly grey all the time. No, this meeting would unfortunately have to be in a neutral territory, one that I can be assured I'm not going to get ambushed and slaughtered like a pig on a machine, but at the same time, I'm trying to keep this non-threatening, nor do I want him to walk into essentially a trap full of my own personal mercenaries. I think an equal meeting, perhaps 4 people on each side in a widely public place, made a little bit more private, would be beneficial for both sides.
I see. This is where we agree. I can 100% agree to that. I feel like this is reasonable discourse, which is why I'm glad that I came. Now, what would you hope to accomplish? I From meeting Amon, I didn't take him as a liar, but the fact that he lied to me bothers me a little bit. Are you hoping to just end the reign of Machina with something peaceful? Hoping to come to an agreement of some sort?
Actually, I should specify outside of RP. Essentially, what Amon said was that Itza wasn't listening to any of their demands, and essentially, Itza here is saying that all of his demands were really simplistically short-sighted, and that he needs to have a more in-depth discussion if he wants to hammer out an actual legitimate solution. It's kind of like, hey, fix Medicare. Okay, but how? Like increasing taxes on the fix it. Okay, that's not a solution. You just want me to do the thing.
Yeah,
Here, you get the idea.
I get.
So that's what he's asking.
I can get behind that. Now, if you want to show a good faith, if you want a sign that there is something to be gained from both parties, I suggest a mediator who's going to oversee these talks and make sure that both sides reach some sort of amicable conclusion. Are you in agreement with that much?
I think that should be fine.
Great. I recommend Tentoria.
Oh goodness, why would you recommend Tentoria?
Let's think about this. She is suave, politically minded, her father's daughter, whether she likes it necessarily or not. She came back to the city not just for the shards, because she heard that things are going wrong. Because she cares about these people and loves them, something that you see as a weakness and I see as a strength. She can be a good asset in making sure that both sides get what they need. Tentoria can separate your face with the issues at hand. She's not a fool. She can tell if something is being short-sighted, if a problem is just being screamed at to be fixed, but no real solutions are being offered. Tentoria is a royal, is a noble, whether you like it or not, and she should have a say in this, and perhaps one day you can mend the rifts that you've caused with your daughter, but this will be a good first step. That keeps her in the city, that keeps her involved in the peace discussions, and I'm saying this with all sincerity, Mr. Galavesk, I am pleading with you, with tears in my eyes. I am keeping spies in this city who will keep an eye on you. And if Tentoria's behavior changes in any way, shape, or form to suggest that you have tried something, or have tried to mind wipe her, it's not going to be me that comes. And you're going to wish it was. But are we in agreement, at the very least, that she can serve as a mediator, and this fulfills part of what you are looking for in keeping your daughter in the city, albeit not under your control, but here, caring for the people and starting her career here, restarting her life?
I'll hold on that answer until I answer your question, because I think it's very pertinent to what I'm going to say next. You asked what's inside of Tentoria. Let's jump back 23 years, shall we? 23 years ago, I was to put it lightly, I was a slave. An optimistic and, oh shit, I forgot the name, but, ambitious. An ambitious slave, but one all the same. And I happened to be on an archaeological dig, nothing too fancy, but I did happen to find some deceased adventurer long since buried in the sands, but he's the one who had the shard on him, and I realized even then that this was something of significant ability. Now, I wasn't going to just hand this over to my various masters. I managed to smuggle it out and keep it for my own study. This, of course, ended up being the Shard of Envy. Now, I realized very quickly on that possessing the shard was a risk. It was a corrupting influence, and I made sure to drop it as soon as I did. As powerful as it was, I was not interested in losing my mind, but at the same time, I couldn't exactly just leave it to gather dust on my nightstand. And so I did the only thing I could. I tested it. I poked and prodded, and I hoped to unlock its secrets without myself losing sanity. Now, hypothetically, let's say that you had a shard that slowly warped the mind, and you didn't particularly care for such a side effect. how would you go about testing the shard in a way that prevented you from suffering the side effects, hypothetically?
You hypothetically test it on somebody you can keep.
Exactly. Someone quite close to you. Someone who trusts you. Now, it is unfortunate what happened with my wife, I admit, but I am a little bit ambitious, I have to say. And I'm terribly sorry. I've already forgotten his wife's name, and I don't have my sheet in front of me.
It is,
I know you remember because you're fucking Sandman, but...
I remember most of it. That's the one detail that I forgot to pull. What the fuck was her name?
God damn you, sir.
I don't have it. It should be on her character sheet, potentially.
Yeah, never mind. It's not terribly important. We'll say wife.
We'll just go
last...
Reich. Because her last name is Reika, and just go Reich for now. Like a pet name for his wife.
But all the same, it was unfortunate. I didn't quite mean for it to go as far as it did. It was simply a gift. I'd asked her to hold on to it for me, and I hoped to observe the side effects, and if they became too severe, I hoped to simply sneak it away from her again, see if the effects can be undone with time away from the shard, or if they are indeed permanent. And if perhaps she's a little bit more envious than she was before, then it is not a great loss. But if the effect is indeed reversible, then I could possess it myself. There are many variables, and I'm not going to pretend that I had a hypothesis even. I simply wanted to observe the effects. And imagine my surprise when there were none. Not a single one. At no point during the long years in which she held the shard seemed to ever... Not long years, the long year, singular, that she held the shard, did she ever seem affected by it. In fact, no strange behavior at all. She didn't even consider the shard magical. She never seemed to realize what it actually was. It was only a few months after I'd given her this shard that I realized that she was pregnant. And 9 months later, a beautiful, healthy, tiefling girl was born. A little bit strange, Tentoria was in the early days. She never cried, not once. She seemed to have a unusual perception about her. Normally babies, well, they're not exactly the brightest bulbs in the bunch, but Tentoria always seemed to have a natural intelligence about her. And of course the horns! You can't forget the horns! And when I took the shard back, as I did eventually, I found that it no longer had that corrupting influence, that it was, for all intents and purposes, a piece of metal with a particularly good enchantment on it, don't get me wrong. It still possesses the abilities of a shard, but that corruption? That shadow? It's not in the shard anymore.
It's in Tentoria.
So, yes, you could say that I think that she's perhaps not exactly trustworthy, and it's not a mark against her character. I trust Tentoria with my life, but I wouldn't trust that thing inside of her any further than I would trust, well, any other shard. Tentoria is a vessel for something ancient. Something beyond any of our reckoning. And, well, I think containing her is in everyone's best interest. Wouldn't you agree?
I'm not in the same level of agreement as you. I am interested in having an eye kept on her, but I'm not in favor of putting her back in a box.
Then I hope you know that when the time comes that she needs to be put back in a box, that option might no longer be on the table.
And that is something that will have to be faced when we get there. If we get there.
I thought you were a man of more vision than that, Mr. Walker. That's disappointing. I think we both know that sometimes when things need to be done, they need to be done immediately, not held off until they become crises.
Don't misunderstand me, truly. I have done worse things for worse reasons, and putting Tentoria back in a box to be under observation to quote-unquote keep people safe. Yes, it maybe would be what I would do if I didn't know Tentoria. If I haven't kept an eye on her for some time. There is more that can be done. We have resources available to us that are not available to you, and we may be able to discover something. So here's what I propose. She stays in the city. You're going to buy her a nice house. She is going to mediate the talks between you and Amon. She is going to continue working in this city, and is eventually going to find her way on the Council of Sun and Sky. Now that won't be because of you, and it won't even necessarily be because of my people. She'll get there because that is what she does. She gets where she needs to be. Now, as far as the thing inside of her, I'll have my people stay within the city and keep an eye. Research will continue to be done, and if we can find a purging influence, we will do so. However, this is still Tentoria's choice, and from what I understand, she at least has some measure of control over this darkness. Now, knowing foul magic, probably not going to be forever, but we can figure something out. But that is my proposal, in exchange for you giving me the shard, and for you keeping Tentoria safe and unmolested in this city. I will give you a meeting with Amon, and let your daughter stay in the city. Near you, but not under your thumb.
See, the only thing that worries me is that I'd really rather prefer that Tentoria never come into contact with the Shard of Envy. God only knows what would happen if she were to get the other half, so to speak. Can you promise that, I wonder?
That I can make sure that your daughter never gets the Shard of Envy?
Yes.
Absolutely. Because don't get me wrong, there may be a part of me that does have a soft spot for her, for various reasons. But if it came down to it, and I thought that we were all at risk because she had that shard, I would have to end her life myself. It wouldn't be the first time I've done it, and it wouldn't be the last, but I'm willing to give her the chance, besides the fact that I need to take back the Shard of Enchantment when I leave from here anyway. So, yes, I can assure she doesn't get hold of that shard. If something else tries to take it, then I'll handle it then.
Well, all of that being said, the shard certainly doesn't do me any good. Puts a target on my back, and the majority of its power is no longer even present. I might still function for whatever service it provides to you lot. I know that it's part of a much greater whole, and if it still functions in that capacity, then you're welcome to it. And if I can get the meeting out of Amon out of it, I think it's a fine deal. We disagree on Tentoria, but I'm willing to acknowledge your point of view. I don't agree with it, but I have very few alternatives, because, to be quite honest, you're right, I have no way of containing her, and killing her seems like it could do just as much harm as good, or at least attempting it. And of course, I'd rather not kill my own daughter, because again, I'm not a monster. I'm just a practical person. There's functionally very little difference, I don't think, but we have to tell ourselves some things to sleep at night.
Correct.
Well then, Mr. Walker, I think we have a deal. You arrange that meeting with Amon, and I'll make sure you have your shard after it's done.
I go to extend my hand and then I stop. One last thing. Doesn't have to be now. Doesn't have to be tomorrow. But by even allowing her to stay in this city, you're going to have to do one more thing. You're going to have to suck up your pride, and you need to apologize to her for what you did to her and her mother, and tell her the truth of where her mother is.
Her mother is somewhere in Varesia, pursuing a false lead about reincarnation.
I know, but you have to tell her.
You seem like break character for a second. Relationships are such a pain. But if it's what it takes, then I suppose an apology is in order. It was an experiment, and it got a little bit out of hand, and I'll be the first to admit it. But admitting things is hard.
It is, but it's what makes you the better man. And he'll extend his hand out to shake.
Okay, he'll shake your hand.
Now, as far as location, I do have an area that you can use if you wish. However, pick a public area and I can make sure that it's clear.
He'd probably go with Bazaar just because it's really wide open and has the most people.
Mm-hmm.
But he's open to suggestion.
Now, just out of curiosity, I do have a portable bunker that I occasionally employ that can be used as neutral ground. Nobody gets in or out but the people that I deem welcome.
Goodness,
You could
no.
use this area. It was just an idea. You can also use what I recommend. Bazaar is not a bad idea. How about a cafe?
Yeah, like
Cafe
a cafe, like functionally is kind of the same, don't you think? Like, unless I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'm saying a cafe in the bazaar.
Okay, then yeah, he'd agree with that.
Sure. I'll make sure that Centauria is in place for the mediation, and I'll come as one of Amon's people, just out of curiosity between you and I. If for whatever reason Amon doesn't wake up tomorrow, would this hurt you in any way?
It's a complicated situation. Now, overseeing the industry that I do, Amon's presence is an unwelcome competition. But at the same time, he does serve a valuable figurehead for a organization which would exist regardless of whether or not Amon led it. Amon is simply a leader. The idea is present even without him. I wish to settle things peacefully, I honestly do, but I don't think it's likely, because regardless of what Amon says, the sentiment is what matters, and the sentiment is a little bit thick-headed sometimes.
I know.
All the same, we don't get anywhere by simply lamenting the ignorance of the masses. We get by with action and diplomacy, which is what I hope to do.
You will. And I will do my best to make sure that the area is entirely clear, and that we come on peaceful terms. You bring information of the shard. You tell nobody else. Even hint that you now remember where it is.
Suits me fine.
I am sorry that your life is now in danger because you will be, in a sense, helping us. But rest assured, if you for some reason die and we can't locate the shard, I promise I will come back here and I will kill every one of these guards with my bare hands.
I feel so much better.
I'm just letting you know that I'm avenging your death before you've even died. So, we have ourselves a deal. Thank you for being a reasonable and level-headed man, and I will see you. Does tomorrow work for you?
Oh, absolutely. I'll even take the day off if required.
Shambhala Cafe, 12 o'clock.
You're not there, Cybers. You can't roll insight. Okay. Were you rolling on okay.
So, have a wonderful day, sir. I'll expect the information then.
Very well. And he'll stand up, shake your hand again, wait for the guards who will get out of the way of the door and kind of get between you and Itza and kind of just start gently shoving you towards the door.
Does anybody actually put their hands on me?
No, like it's implied unless you guys are like completely standing still.
Okay, no, because if you like said gently shoving, I was like, if anybody puts their hands on me, I'm breaking a finger.
No, it's one of those things where the polite implication is like, this is over. You have no reason to be in this room anymore. Please leave.
Yep, no, yeah, we're leaving. And I'm gonna grab Sword in the shoulder. I'm gonna say, you did a real good job today, Agent. We're gonna go get you some.
I would prefer that. Have we left the room at this
And-
point?
You're walking through the house.
Okay. You know, my father once told me that children bring out the best in people, and that I bring out the best in him. But he didn't really need me because he was already his best. But it was always nice to have me. Him, though, I feel as if him having a child brought out the worst in him.
Insightful.
That is what happens to. That is what happens to men sometimes, Mister. Sounds smart. Sometimes children bring out the worst in you. The only thing that you can promise yourself is to not be like your parents.
Just seems
Todoroki feels.
Oof.
it seems wrong.
Let's get into it.
I feel as if we could have done more, but ice
There's
cream
not
would
much more we
fix
can do.
anything.
The situation is tenuous at best, and knowing that Tentoria is technically 50% of that shard is now very concerning to me. I'm going to have to try something that I never wanted to do. And I'm only letting you know in case that I get hurt doing it, but one thing at a time, buddy. One thing at a time.
Oh,
First, we're gonna get you
seems
some ice
fair.
cream, and we're gonna get you back to the guy who's gonna fix your memory.
Oh,
I mean, she's technically not a player anymore.
up to you.
And I'll call on the earring and say everything is good. We came to an agreement. Things are gonna be all right. So if you can bring me the just get the folks here. Meet me back at the hotel.
It's like the fourth straight session with no combat, guys.
Did you want
Some
me
would say
to
that
drop
that's
the people off
wonderful.
at you, or bring them to the hotel first?
Bring him to the hotel and open it up.
Sorden just punches a guard on the way home.
Oh, I mean, Sorden is not
I
that.
really don't.
excellent.
I really don't mind non-combat. Honestly, it's.
I know.
You
I
know,
I just hope that anyone who's not Sandman isn't hella bored.
I do
Just-
apologize. Didn't expect
I
that to
have a really
run,
bad itchy
but-
trigger right now.
but I will. Once I get Sorden's memory cleared up, I'm sending him back to the hotel with the message of everything that basically happened that as he remembers it, and that I will be back shortly. I just need to run down one last lead and do. But you guys feel free to do whatever you want. I do apologize. This was the last time that probably Tentori is going to be in this campaign, so I just want to make sure that the way that she goes out was set up nice.
Oof. She's gonna die.
Yeah, I know she's not.
I have plans.
But yeah.
Don't worry about it.
What's your
Sandman,
plan,
Sandman, you
Arthur?
don't know shit. Don't worry about it.
Dooch.
World's gonna roll you.
I need the sharpest tool in the shed.
Piebald, just to note that your memory is back to kind of how it was before, only your recollection of the conversation is entirely different now. You did not see any of the craziness that temporarily leaked out of Adrian, and you also didn't hear his accent change.
Okay. Well, it seems as if that went very well. I can't believe you both hugged at the end.
No, I didn't expect to get to him on a personal level, but it just really.
I always did love a happy ending as a child. My father always had the best happy endings.
I think your father
Phrasing.
was thinking about a different kind of happy ending.
I'm sorry, what?
I think your father was thinking about a different kind of happy ending.
Ooh, what sort?
I will take you to a place later.
Oh,
But yeah,
look at this very
so-
marvelous bird that I found. He's been
Oh,
sitting
how
at my
big is
shoulder. I
There-
just went on a run. And
Is it a pigeon or is it a vulture?
It's
I
a
forget.
pigeon. I tried catching a vulture, but the vulture tried attacking me, so I caught a pigeon. They
You
don't
now
attack.
have. He has a golden pigeon. It's literally golden. Like, it
I mean-
shines with a slight radiance that is a little bit dazzling.
What?
It was the cutest pigeon that I could find.
What?
Jesus Christ. But yeah, Adrian is going to step out and send back Sorden with the message. You guys feel free to talk about whatever you like based off that tailored view of the conversation, and I'll step back. Sorry for letting that run as long as it did, but you guys are up on deck.
No worries.
I want to fucking shoot somebody.
I know.
Ooh,
I want to see.
Mr. Draxus.
What?
Would you like to have one case of ritual combat?
What?
Would you like to have one case of ritual combat? It's a very simple question.
No. Because I'm lazy.
Seems fair. Mr. Side,
God, why are you talking? Wait, are you gonna ask that to everybody?
would you like one round of ritual combat? I'm not sure. I feel so invigorated. I feel as if I
No, I was gonna say, you know what? Fuck it. I'll fight you. Fuck.
Ooh,
No.
okay.
God.
So, who goes first? And in that moment, Jordan's gonna try to make an attack.
I mean, Saivas, you had more tries than I have.
Or, okay. That's fair.
He can absolutely still initiate combat.
I'm
with
just
an
gonna
attack.
stand still.
It's not a surprise, but he goes first. Yes, no, he doesn't if he swings first. That is how this works.
Blank, your call.
I wasn't paying attention. Hang on. What's going on? Like,
Dang.
who's attacking what?
We're just doing a combat.
Oh my god. God.
How are we doing this?
How do you want to do this?
I already did. Uh-oh.
Don't mind the Wrathbreaker.
Wait, what?
I wonder if you guys can even see this. Hang on. So, because I was busy DMing things. So what's going on? What's the problem
Ritual combat.
between Sorden and Jax? Or Cybus? What's going on? I mean, if it's a thing he has in his sheath, then I believe him. I just don't know Eldritch Knight well enough.
No, basically, I was just, I was like, hey, so, do you want to have, like, just like a mock battle real quick? The same thing, same rules as last time? He was like, sure. I was like, I wonder which one of us, yeah! And then I,
Gotcha. Do you have a feat that allows you to do that, or is it just are you asking for a surprise round?
I was just
That's
asking
a
for a
standard
surprise.
invitation count.
Then I'd say Cybus probably isn't surprised because it's not terribly surprising. You literally said, "Hey, have a ritual combat," so he was already kind of expecting a little bit. Go ahead and roll insight there, Cybus. Let's see how well you roll. Good point. I'm with you on this one. Yeah, you don't have surprise. I was mostly doing that just because I was like, if we want to have it, if we want to settle it with dice, it's always easier to settle things with dice than it is with rules. But
So I want to roll initiative on the 2v1. So
I'm still confused. So Sorden's just taking a swing at Cybus in ritual combat, and then Jax is gonna pull a gun on someone? This is why I'm confused.
I realized I want to shoot somebody.
Oh, I didn't. I mean, do we even need to have the board? Because it's just a 1v1.
I said I'm not going to participate in a 2v1. I said I wasn't. I said I wasn't.
Carpe diem.
You know, hypothetically, and I'm just saying, if there was a fight in Itzia's house, it would probably take place. Hang on a second.
Will save? Oh, no.
Actually,
Ace, Mamma Mia.
never mind. I'm gonna take it off the board. I was like, if we're actually gonna do a fight, then I'll have a battle of that. But
It was basically to see who gets first. So, Sword goes to swing, and he's locked. But how are they supposed to know that you're surprising them?
God damn it, Goku! Stop telling him what we're gonna do. Rush him! God damn it!
So, quick question. How was it that scrolls were being done in this campaign? Y'all said something earlier.
It was. That's right, because I need to answer Cybus. Same magic rules cost seems fair to me personally. I can bring it up in a second.
Wait, what? No, I meant like using them.
Oh, then yeah. If it's above your level, then it's an Arcana check, and the DC is 10 plus a spell level.
Okay. Well, that is a little difficult, but fuck it. I'm gonna need it anyways, eventually.
What are you buying?
Well.
What are you buying? What are you selling?
Here's,
Oh, I miss you, buddy. How's the
That's fair. I'm looking to buy a 5th level spell, scroll, but I need to persuade it down.
What are you buying?
I'll send it to you, because this one's a secret.
Is that from Resident Evil?
Yes, it is.
That's what it's.
Oh shit! Everyone can do that accent. It's a really fun accent to do.
I can't.
Okay, you're right. Not everyone can. It was like someone just like pitch shifted the entire thing up like half an octave.
Man.
So, Sordin, wanna fight me now? I'm just gonna aim my gun
On hold person, you can make a new save every 6 seconds, can't you?
Actually,
Aha!
At the
As a
end of
full
each
action?
of its turns, target make a wisdom saving throw.
as a full action, I'm just gonna do this.
Vanish. Oh right, you have invisibility now, don't you?
Hell yeah. See y'all later. See y'all later, kids.
Hey!
Which reminds me, because I did say everyone is level 8.
Oh! Sorry, I shouldn't have done
Nice.
that.
Because we weren't in combat, but you guys have been level 7 forever.
Well, I think that's also because we haven't played for a while. Like,
did
I'm
take a
fine
minute
with
break.
staying at level 7. So, because, like,
Yeah,
mean,
don't do that, because then we have to worry about somebody being level 7 and somebody being level 8, and everyone would rather be level 8. Don't worry, we're getting through things. We're just not doing it in combat. We're getting through things with purely talking solutions.
oh yeah. Level 8.
I'll put it this way. I've had at least one combat situation for everything, and every time you guys have managed to get out of it. There was a bunch of guards that saw that they were looking for a reason to arrest Jax, basically, which you guys managed to get past. I expected you guys were gonna get stopped at the front gate because there were a lot of tricks there. I had a fucking casino in case I had a casino battle map in case you guys tried any shit in the casino. You guys haven't done anything that's gotten into combat. Like, legitimately, each time I'm like, okay, then this one might have been, hey, he didn't like the deals you were making and he was gonna get the guards. I had a battle map ready. You guys have so far managed to avoid combat for like 5 solid sessions.
Diplomacy.
Nice.
I just want you to know, it's not like I'm like, well, I didn't have any combat plan. I did. I legitimately had combat planned, but you guys is just skating by it. And I'm not going to punish you XP-wise because you haven't gotten into any fights.
Does that also mean that the session's over for leveling up?
Might as well.
Oh. Sort of.
We will get into the meeting between Itza and Amon next session, where, spoilers, I will almost guarantee you have to RP your asses off to make sure there's no combat. Holy shit.
We can do it.
I'm not gonna tell you any more than that. Just know that when two very powerful people meet, usually someone's gonna get hurt. Wait, what idea?
Macho, by the way.
What's up?
Welcome back. How was Ireland?
I said welcome back.
Ah, yes. I mean, 10 straight days of day drinking have really taken its toll. Like, I'm still sick.
Ooh. Sick in a cool way? Like you're sick? Chakra, bro?
Sorted.
I mean, I did kiss Wizard and get a hat, so there's that.
Sorted.
Yes.
Fight me.
No.
Why?
Too late for that.
It's because I'm invisible. You can't see me.
Well, the session's over. Did Ashes leave?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm sad now.
So, Blank, you want me to roll anything to find that stuff? And or...
I'm gonna roll a flat d20. The DC isn't as high as it normally would be. This is essentially a rarity check.
Oh fuck.
Okay.
Natural 19. They totally fucking have it.
Cool. How's about that negotiating price?
Go ahead and roll just general persuasion. Since we're not RP yet, I'm not gonna penalize you for just saying how much less. 18, not bad. Okay, that knocks it down to.
Take pretty much everything I got?
We'll say 550.
Hey. Thanks, man.
Oh, my entire audio cut out for a second.
Hope it serves you well. Like it's one of those things where if you buy it, the guy's gonna give you like a raised eyebrow. But whatever, man.
So this is actually something I've had in the planning for a very long time, to the point where I've already made the roll for it. If you pull up our chat log, I labeled the plan as Heart of the Motherland. You'll find it.
Fair enough. I'll have to look at that.
I almost forgot. I really. Shit. Sandman, are you still alive?
Yep, still here.
I need your help with a decision.
Okay, shoot.
I don't want to do it here because I feel very self-conscious.
You should be. I'm kidding. What is it?
What the fuck, dude? You're
Do
my
it.
fucking friend.
Do it in front of everybody. It's fine.
If you don't do it, then we will be sad and all cry in unison.
Mm-hmm. Just tell us what it is.
Well, I can. Yeah, I'm trying. Can't formulate words.
Hello? Wow. Hello. It is a golden pigeon. That's how I found him. Hey. I picked him straight off of the pigeon tree. I want him in peace. In one piece. Like, not cooked in one piece or served in one. I've had what before? Well, yeah, but I'm not gonna eat this pigeon. Mm-mm. Hey, I throw you in the pit.
So, my question is that since we're level 8, your ability score increased for 2 points,
Mhm.
right?
If
You
you haven't
said-
multi-classed.
What?
If you haven't multi-classed,
I have a multi-class.
then yes.
So, I have 18 for my constitution and my intelligence. What should I raise?
Constitution.
My constitution over my
Aren't you a
intelligence?
dexterity character?
My dexterity is already maxed out.
Jesus, what are your stats?
Initially, my dexterity was a 19 when I was level 1. I think it was either 18 or 19.
If any of you want to roll hit die, by the way, then now's a good time.
Nope. Take an average and.
Oh,
somebody else
fuck
knows
you,
the
Raxus.
difference.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Nice.
Oh, fuck.
You maxed out your health.
Oh,
Yeah, that was a
fuck.
natural. That was a natural 8 on a D8
Oh.
Nice. Plus 5.
plus 4.
No, she just maxed out her con, so it's plus 5.
Oh, well, in that case, then yes. If you max out your con, be sure to retroactively apply it to all previous levels.
Oh. Oh, shit, dude. Alright, fuck it, fine. I even use most of my spells anyways. I need my fucking health. I've been
You took the average, right?
I've been very paranoid about my health ever since I was a wizard. That
Pi, you
shit's been
took your
following
average,
me.
right?
That's average.
Smart boy. That's my baby.
I'm with. Actually, it depends on the character. Whenever I play a fighter barbarian class, I always take the chance. Whenever I play a wizard, I'm like, I can't fucking take that. I might die.
The worst part was that I didn't really invest enough into Constitution when I was playing Victor, so that I kind of set myself up for failure. But somehow I lived for all of that. Roll it.
Some
I'll
levels are
admit
just
that-
dead levels.
I'll admit that the natural 12 hit die was really to make my night.
Yep. There you go.
You
Just
know
about
what
what
I
you
get?
prepare.
An upgrade.